Seeing I was over 18 and still single, the landlady went ahead and arranged a wealthy, older sister-type roommate for me. But with my severe social anxiety, I only dared to hide alone in my bedroom, planning to only come out and move around after she left. Who knew this would actually catch her attention, making her think I was playing hard to get. Inside the room, Su Jinghan was studying me. She had actually been against having a roommate. With her financial status, there was absolutely no need to live in a place like this. Moreover, her looks always attracted disgusting social interactions. So she initially rejected the idea of sharing an apartment, but since someone had already rented it for her, she could only choose to come take a look, intending to just not move in if it was really that bad. However, the moment Su Jinghan laid eyes on me, she was stunned by my looks. So handsome. Who says women are not superficial when it comes to looks? A tall and slender build, great skin, and sharp features. Most importantly, the faint, melancholic aura exuding from me gave off the distinct vibe of a frail, gentle scholar. In the past, her social circle was full of second-generation rich kids. Most were ignorant and incompetent, walking around with their noses in the air. The few outstanding ones were always fiercely aggressive. She had never met someone like me before. Or rather, she had never paid attention to someone like me. I glanced at Su Jinghan and quickly lowered my head. Staring at someone is very impolite and can easily cause unnecessary conflict. So, whenever I interact with others, I always keep my head down. It is not that I look down on them. It is that I do not dare to look. Especially since Su Jinghan had such a unique aura, confident and powerful, keeping people at a distance of 1,000 miles. Su Jinghan smiled. It was not that she had not seen people secretly looking at her before. She got those kinds of looks wherever she went. She usually just found them creepy. They did not even have the guts to look at her openly. But today, she actually found me a little cute. Maybe it was because of my looks. Hello, my name is Su Jinghan. Su Jinghan generously held out a hand. I wiped my hands on my clothes and nervously reached out a hand. This was my very first time shaking hands with a girl. Even my voice was trembling as I greeted her. Hello, I am Mu Xin. The moment our hands touched, I could not help but swallow hard. So smooth, so soft. What do you think, Xiao Su? Seeing that the two of us were getting along okay, Sister Zhao finally relaxed. It is great, I will take this place. Compared to the place Su Jinghan used to live in, this place was extremely shabby. Only she knew, that great did not refer to the apartment, but the person standing in front of her. The moment we brushed past each other, she caught a faint fragrance coming from me. At first, it was very fresh, and then it became a bit intoxicating. It was a pity the scent was so faint. She had to get really close to smell it. But I gave her absolutely no chance, having retreated to the side long ago, acting as if I was about to be eaten alive by her the next second. Sister Zhao left. I finally hid back in my room. I immediately let out a long sigh of relief. I was seriously too nervous just now. Sure enough, I am a person unfit for socializing. I chugged a large glass of water to calm myself down. Lying on the bed, staring at the ceiling, I thought, the roommate is settled in. There should not be any need for me anymore. Based on our schedules, there probably won't be much interaction between us. Perfect. Let us just maintain this kind of relationship living under the same roof, with absolutely no need to talk to each other. Waking up at 12 noon was way too early for me. That unnecessary socializing had drained almost all my energy. Lying on the bed, it was not long before I groggily fell asleep. Su Jinghan's room was the master bedroom. After unpacking her luggage, she sat on the living room sofa. She normally lived alone too. So why was she feeling so distracted today? Unable to calm her mind, she had seen far too many frivolous playboys and self-righteous men who would always manufacture so-called accidents for a chance encounter. Yet, ever since I entered my room, I had not come out once. I had not even come out to use the bathroom. Su Jinghan took out her phone and dialed a number. I want all the information you can find on Mu Xin. Being ignored for the first time, she admitted it. She was starting to find this new roommate interesting. Playing hard to get actually works, provided you have the looks for it. Very soon, She had my entire past in front of her. 22 years old, senior graduating from Rongjin University, won scholarships for 4 consecutive years. An absolutely stunning resume. He even held the title of the aloof, handsome campus god. An orphan with outstanding grades. Delivered takeout. Swept streets. Washed dishes. And cooked. I had done it all. As for my current job, web novel author. Lifted himself out of poverty with his books, earning a net worth of nearly 10 million. This little brother's life has certainly been a bumpy ride, Su Jing'an murmured, a faint smile playing on her lips. It is a pity the aloof little brother does not seem to want to pay me any attention. She casually ordered some takeout, and finished it off as if completing a task. Then she returned to her bedroom, turned on her computer, and started working. The complicated and incredibly tedious work. Yet she had to do it. That night, Su Jing'an suffered from insomnia again. It definitely was not mansion aversion syndrome. Even in this completely ordinary little apartment, she could not sleep. There was probably no point in staying here anymore. At 11 p.m., I woke up and rubbed my groggy head. I opened the door slightly and looked through the crack to check the situation in the living room. The lights were off. Su Jing'an was not in the living room. Makes sense. She should be asleep at this hour. I tiptoed to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. This was perfect. She sleeps. I wake up to work. By tomorrow morning when I go to sleep, she will come out. We won't disturb each other at all. I habitually walked toward the kitchen, but my hand froze right as I reached for the light switch. The sound of stir-frying can be pretty loud. Would it wake Su Jing'an up? But I can't just not eat. I sighed. Judging by Su Jing'an's aura today, she is definitely from the upper crust. A bottom-tier scrub like me absolutely cannot afford to offend her. Sure enough, having a roommate was a terrible decision. I should have just rented the whole apartment myself. Why did I bother saving that bit of money? I went back to my room and dug out a long-forgotten cup noodle. To think I became a multi-millionaire, only to still be eating instant noodles. After eating and drinking my fill, I turned on my computer and started typing. I did not stop until 7 a.m. I stretched lazily. Time for dinner. I opened the door and walked out. In the living room, a woman with exceptional elegance was sitting on the sofa. The moment I saw her, I froze. I forgot about this. It is probably too late to close the door and go back now. Su Jing'an has already seen me. Morning. Morning, Su Jing'an replied to me. It is just that she did not look very energetic. Since moving in, her sleep quality had gotten even worse. She had not fallen asleep until 3 or 4 in the morning. Her body was clearly very healthy, and all her checkups came back completely fine, but she just suffered from insomnia. Her private doctor said it was a lingering side effect of overworking in previous years. It belonged to a type of psychological illness that Su Jing'an could only adjust to on her own. Now it seemed the method of changing her living environment had failed. I did not interact with her too much. Morning grogginess, you know. A lot of people get it. She would be fine in a bit. My own stomach was the top priority. I tied my apron on, then suddenly poked my head out of the kitchen. Have you had breakfast yet? Not yet. Are you making breakfast? Su Jing'an stood up and leaned against the kitchen doorway, watching me inside. This little brother really is handsome. Not even an apron can seal away his good looks. Getting to see a handsome guy first thing in the morning is indeed quite nice. Su Jing'an felt her mood improve significantly. The faint scent on my body made her feel at ease. I, on the other hand, felt terrible. If you want to eat, go wait outside. Why do you have to stand at the door staring at me? My brain selectively crashed. How do you make breakfast again? I wanted so badly to tell Su Jing'an to go back and sit down, but the words just would not come out of my mouth. Would she think I was being too fussy? Ugh, so annoying. I was struggling internally. Breakfast was already done, and some words were still left unsaid. Time to eat. No need to say it anymore. A few simple savory pancakes and some stomach-soothing millet porridge were brought to the dining table by me. I did not fight Su Jing'an for the sofa space. I pulled up a stool and sat next to it, looking a bit cramped. Suddenly having another person to eat with felt weirdly uncomfortable. What kind of table manners would be appropriate? I served myself a bowl of porridge, With my head down, I took a bite of pancake, then a sip of porridge. I have already lowered my head. Nobody should be able to notice me now, right? However, things just could not go my way. Su Jinghan actually paid even more attention to me. With her status, someone usually served her food for her, but the man in front of her only cared about feeding himself. If I knew what she was thinking, I would definitely scoff. You sure think highly of yourself. I may have an inferiority complex, but I am not a simp. Of course, words like that could never actually come out of my mouth. They were strictly confined to my thoughts. I looked up at Su Jinghan, seeing that she had not touched her food yet. Not to your liking. I made today's breakfast according to my own taste. So it is normal if she does not like it. What if this pampered big sister throws a tantrum and flips the table? So frustrating. Su Jinghan served herself a bowl of millet porridge and took a delicate sip. She felt the grogginess of just waking up instantly vanish. She then picked up a pancake. Since the millet porridge was so delicious, this should not be bad either, right? She took a bite. The savory juices filled her mouth. The umami of the meat paired perfectly with the fresh aroma of the scallions. I did not expect your cooking skills to be this good. Su Jinghan did not hold back her praise. I waved my hands awkwardly. I worked part-time at a restaurant for a while. The two of us quickly finished our first breakfast together. I had restrained myself a lot. The vast majority of it was eaten by Su Jinghan. She did not even spare the very last sip of the porridge. A beautiful woman enjoying the food I made. I was still quite happy about it. Getting up and clearing the dishes, I sat down on the sofa, right next to Su Jinghan. I swear I did not have any improper thoughts. I was just considering whether going straight back to sleep like this would be a bit impolite. Do not you have to go to work? It is already 8 of the clock. It is time to go to work. Beautiful. Once you leave, I can go back to sleep. No need. Su Jinghan shook her head. She had only slept for 3 or 4 hours last night. Now that she was full and satisfied, she actually started to feel sleepy. Thanks to her hard work in previous years, her company had long been on track. Her not going in for a day was no big deal. Right now, she just wanted to sleep. Smelling the faint fragrance on my body, she slowly leaned her head on my shoulder. Definitely a rich second generation. I sighed inwardly. The lives of different people truly are different. But the next second, I almost jumped out of my skin. What the heck just bumped into me? Seeing Su Jinghan's side profile from such a close distance, I was completely at a loss. My lips trembled, unable to form a single word. It was the first time a woman had ever been this close to me. If someone with morning grumpiness gets woken up, they would probably kill me, right? I carefully maneuvered Su Jinghan down onto the sofa. A true Sigma male will never fall for a woman's traps. Falling asleep right after waking up. Who are you trying to fool? Finally able to break free, I got up to go grocery shopping. Perhaps because I knew there was an extra person at home. I bought a few more dishes than usual. When I got home, I found that Su Jinghan was genuinely asleep. Could it be that this woman is like me? Also a night shift worker. I fetched a blanket from my room and draped it over her. When Su Jinghan woke up, it was already 11 a.m. She had a wonderful dream. In the dream she was relaxed, free, and completely joyful. This sleep was the most comfortable own she had had in 3 years. It inevitably made her feel a bit greedy, reluctant to wake up. She sat on the sofa and stretched lazily, her gorgeous figure fully on display. Too bad someone was not around to enjoy the view. Though, knowing my personality, it would only take one glance for me to consider moving out. I would be afraid Su Jinghan would murder me if I stayed any longer. Clutching the blanket in her hands, Su Jinghan could not resist holding it to her nose and sniffing. It was this scent, the own that made people feel at ease, yet crave more. She buried her entire face in the blanket, breathing it in greedily. She folded the blanket and walked to my bedroom door. The hand about to knock suddenly stopped in midair. It is broad daylight. He should not be home, right? Maybe I will just return it to him tonight. The sweetness of the dream probably came from the scent emanating from the blanket. Maybe I will return it to him tomorrow. Thus, this blanket was taken back to Su Jinghan's own room. She had been trying to cure her insomnia for a long time. She would give it one more try tonight. As for being found out by me, She did not care, having had her fill of sleep. Su Jinghan happily drove to her company, a rare sight. I was still sleeping soundly in my room, completely unaware of everything that had happened in the living room. When I woke up, it was already 5 p.m. Su Jinghan probably has not gotten off work yet, right? I swaggered out of my room. Just as I thought, the living room was completely empty. Su Jinghan, who went back to sleep, had already left. Wonder if she was late for work. But a rich second gen like her probably does not care. As expected, being completely alone is the simplest form of happiness. I narrowed my eyes and looked at the sofa. The person is gone. But is something else missing too? My blanket is gone. I started searching around the house. Not in the living room, not in the kitchen, not in the bathroom, nor in the washing machine. In that case, there was only one place left. I mechanically turned my head to look at Su Jinghan's room. No way. Seeing how put together and respectable she looks, I never expected her to be a pervert. I suddenly felt like I could not wait until college graduation anymore. Plans have changed. This final half year is too dangerous. I need to buy my own little house as soon as possible. Left with no choice, I just went to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth. The matter of the missing blanket was tossed to the back of my mind. It is not like I could go in and get it out right now anyway, right? Routine workout. Writing novels easily leads to occupational hazards. So exercise must be maintained. Take a shower, then eat. Read a book for entertainment. Then write my novel. My life was just that disciplined. So disciplined that it was boring. What I enjoyed was the joy of living alone. The joy of not having to interact with anyone. One scoop of rice poured into the rice cooker. This was my usual portion. But today, I stared at the rice bag, stunned. Should I add another scoop? There is someone else at home today. A rich second gen's job is probably 9 to 5, right? She should be coming back soon. But wait, should not rich second gens be like in the novels? Eating at a fancy high-end hotel before coming home? I do not know. Sigh. I have never actually met a rich second-generation kid. Damn it. I did not add her as a contact so I can reach her. But how could I possibly have the nerve to ask her for it first? If she rejected me, it would be so awkward. I would have to pack up and move off the planet. Wait, why am I even considering a pervert? She stole my blanket. I waged an internal war within myself. People with social anxiety are always burning themselves out from the inside. That is exactly why I love living alone. Consequently, I scooped another cup of rice from the bag. I am just going to eat a bit more today. Yes. It is absolutely not for her sake. She is so tall. Is this little bit of rice really enough? Maybe I should add one more scoop. And so, I added more. I just want to eat leftovers tomorrow. It is absolutely not for her. I washed the rice and started the cooker. I took the vegetables I bought in the morning out of the fridge. Right as I was washing them, the sound of the front door opening rang out. My entire body stiffened. She is back. I guiltily glanced at the rice cooker. Thank goodness I cooked enough rice. Otherwise, dinner time would have been super awkward. Even though I could just take my food to my room to eat, that would mean I could never look Su Jinghan in the eye ever again. My awkwardness allergy would act up. I poked my head out to take a peek. Who knew Su Jinghan would look over at the exact same time? In an instant our eyes met. I immediately felt like I would been caught cheating. Goosebumps erupted all over my body. You are back. When will I ever be able to talk to the opposite sex without my voice trembling? I am probably destined to be single in this lifetime. Hearing my words, Su Jinghan suddenly had an illusion. This scene, it felt just like a little husband waiting at home for her return. It felt inexplicably wonderful. Choosing not to work overtime and coming home to eat was definitely the right choice today. What is for dinner tonight? Su Jinghan tossed her bag onto the sofa, leaned against the kitchen doorway, and watched me. Oh crap. I felt my heart jump into my throat for a second. Why is this woman leaning over here again? It is just cooking. Does she have to be so curious? I really hate it when someone stares at me from behind while I am doing things. There is a phrase for this. Like pins and needles on my back. I felt uncomfortable everywhere. If someone were to step up and try to give me pointers right now, I would genuinely flip out. Right now, I felt like my hands were shaking so much I could not even hold the kitchen knife steady. I am making braised lion's head meatballs, sweet and sour pork ribs, and a vegetable dish. Okay, I have told you. Now please go away. My psychological activity was boiling even harder than the hot oil in the pan. I deliberately added an extra dish today. When I eat alone, it is usually own meat and own vegetable dish. For 2 people, I added own more. I can only add own more meat dish at most. Any more than that and she will eat me out of house and home. I also do not know if it will suit Su Jinghan's tastes. Does she actually prefer meat or vegetables? Holy crap! Why am I thinking about her again? Let me help you. Su Jinghan took the dishes from my hands, carried them to the table, and brought over 2 bowls of rice. She had been impatient for a while now. Standing at the kitchen door, she had already smelled the aroma. The colors were even more enticing. It did not take a genius to know it would be delicious. With the first bite, Su Jinghan's eyes lit up. This was way too good. Unconsciously, the speed at which she picked up food got faster. I sat to the side. Although my movements were a bit awkward, my inner nervousness gradually settled down. Yes, just like this. Eat without speaking, sleep without talking. Let us just eat our own food and not have any interaction. But why were her movements when picking up food so calm and natural? My chopsticks did not even dare to linger in the dishes. I would raise my eyes, lock onto a target, move as fast as the wind, grab it, then immediately retract my hand and lower my head to shovel rice into my mouth. Meanwhile, Su Jinghan had already eaten 2 or 3 mouthfuls. Is this really the food I cooked? I was angry, but did not dare say a word. And at the very end I still had to ask caringly, "Are you full?" More than half of the 3 dishes had been eaten by Su Jinghan alone. All right. Why am I so lowly and subservient? Su Jinghan leaned back on the sofa, with a look of sheer satisfaction on her face. It was obvious she was completely full, maybe even a little stuffed. Owen, look at her. And I knew I would be washing the dishes alone today. Since when do rich second gens have a habit of washing dishes? They do not even eat at home. Su Jinghan watched my back. She also realized she was acting out of character today. That subtle sense of distance she usually kept when interacting with others had vanished, making her seem a bit ill-mannered today. All because the food I made was just too delicious. Little brother, did I eat a bit too much? She followed behind me and leaned against the kitchen doorway. My heart skipped a beat. This woman is at it again. Watching me cook is own thing. Now you have to watch me wash the dishes too. I should just drag her in here and make her wash them. Not at all. You are quite tall, sister. It is natural to eat a bit more. With my personality, even if she really did eat way too much, I would not dare say it out loud. Damn it. Why did I call her sister? Will she think I am crossing boundaries? But she is the own who called herself sister, right? I am doomed. I am doomed. I am gonna get scolded. Feeling guilty, I did not dare to look at Su Jinghan. I just sped up my hand movements, wanting to finish quickly, and hide back in my little dark room. So cute. Su Jinghan watched my little movements, a faint smile curving her lips. What do? I kind of want to rush up and hug him right now. Where do you work, little brother? Although she had already investigated me, some things were still better asked directly. I am still a student. I have not found an internship yet. I put the bowls and chopsticks away at the speed of light, and wiped down the kitchen counter. I am heading back to my room first, sister. With a bang, I closed the door. I leaned against the door, already breaking into a sweat. Heaven knows just how much fear I held inside. During every interaction with Su Jinghan, I am not someone who is good at making conversation. Staying out there even a moment longer, and the awkward atmosphere would have suffocated me. Oh, right? I still had not gotten my blanket back. However, I did not have the courage to open the door again. I could only try to hypnotize myself in my mind. It is my stuff anyway. What is wrong with going to ask for it back? I can do this. Just as I finished hyping myself up, outside the door, watching my retreating figure, Su Jinghan blinked and let out a laugh. He gets cuter the more I look at him. Hearing that, I instantly deflated like a balloon. My recently calmed heart leapt into my throat again. Please do not knock on the door. Whatever you do, do not knock. I do not want the blanket anymore. Consider it a gift. A long while later, I heard the sound of the next room's door closing. Only then did my heart settle. I collapsed onto my bed. I could not calm down enough to write at all. So I could only pull out my phone and read web novels. Meanwhile, Su Jinghan changed into her pajamas, picked up the blanket resting on her bed, and took a deep breath of it. The scent seemed to be fading a bit. She revealed a dissatisfied expression. She looked up at the wall, separating the rooms, as if she could see through it to the person on the other side. A flash of greed crossed her eyes. Should I just tie little brother up and bring him over? Suddenly, a chill shot through me. The phone I was holding slipped and hit my face. Murderous intent. I am overthinking it. It is a society ruled by law. Besides, who would target someone like me? A person with zero presence in the world. What would they even gain? I should just get back to writing. The clattering sound of my keyboard filled the room. I suddenly paused. Is the sound too loud? Will it disturb my roommate's sleep? I pursed my lips in thought. Mustering my courage, I finally decided to take out an old, retired keyboard. It was quiet, but the typing feel was terrible. In an hour, I wrote 500 words. You ask why my typing speed is so slow? Because I was slacking off, of course. An author who does not know how to slack off is not a good writing machine. I swiped on my phone screen. There are no houses in good locations.
Yes.
I was already itching to find a new place. I took a quick look. There were only off-plan properties near the school. The move-in ready homes were a million miles away from campus. Just thinking about the future commute. It would be like a pilgrimage. An hour drive, followed by half an hour stuck in traffic. Days like that, you might as well kill me now. I will have to rent again, but this time, I am absolutely renting a whole unit. There is no way I am having another roommate. Next door, Su Jinghan had already fallen asleep, hugging my blanket. For the first time in 3 years, she was asleep before 12 a.m. The next day, when I woke up, it was 9 a.m. This was the latest I had woken up in the 2.5 months since vacation started. No, wait, it was the earliest. I usually wake up past 4 p.m. I happily opened my door and went out, only to see Su Jinghan sitting on the sofa. My body stiffened. Why is she still home? Does not this woman need to go to work? Even as a rich second gen, should not she have at least a basic sense of professional ethics? At least go clock in before you slack off. By the way, is it too late for me to turn around and go back inside? I quietly lowered my head, trying to sneak back into my room. While Su Jinghan had not noticed me. Little brother, you woke up a bit late today. My body gave a shudder. Why does this woman's voice sound like a ghost? I scratched my head, turned around, and squeezed out a smile. School starts tomorrow, and I did not have anything to do today. So I just lazed in bed. I guess I can't escape now. Another day of regretting having a roommate. Wait, right? No school, no work. No need to wake up early. Her words left me stunned. I felt I should reply, but then realized I did not know what to say. I have said it before, socializing is incredibly troublesome. Can't we just be two strangers who happen to live in the same house? With my head down, my back hugging the wall, I sidled toward the kitchen. Have you had breakfast yet? I am going to make some. Please do not answer me. Just hurry up and do your own thing. Thanks for the hard work then. Oh, crap. Su Jinghan slept very well last night, hugging my blanket. She even set an alarm for the same time I woke up yesterday, just so she could have breakfast with me. After only one day, she could not forget the food I cooked. But when she did not see me, she chose not to go to the company, preferring to wait at home, just to eat the breakfast I made. And I had not even gotten out of bed yet. I hid in the kitchen, rubbing my face to relax myself. What is going on here? I know I have social anxiety, and I am bad at communicating with people, but I should not feel outright fear when talking to someone, unless Su Jinghan holds a position of authority over me. For instance, when facing a teacher, or facing a boss, or anyone of a higher status. I always keep my head down, afraid to meet their eyes, and my voice always trembles when I speak. If that is really the case, my life as a roommate is doomed to be miserable. Just like right now, I walked out of the kitchen with my head down, passed through the living room, and entered the bathroom. I did not dare look at Su Jinghan once the whole way. Yet I could feel her gaze on me. It was scorching. I forgot I had not even washed up after getting out of bed. Without the glory of achieving wealth through a single book, all I have left is this empty shell. Though I have money now, I still have my pride. I need to look somewhat presentable, right? I will wash my face and brush my teeth first. Then I will go boil some noodles. Upon exiting, I met Su Jinghan's gaze again. I knew she was looking at me, but my eyes just wanted to double-check. Before I fled in panic, Su Jinghan's laughter behind me made my legs go weak. Sister, please, just let me go. Su Jinghan, on the other hand, had her eyes curved in amusement. He is just too adorable. My blanket made her sleep so comfortably last night. And now, the more she looks at me, the more she likes me. The more she looks, the fonder she gets. Breakfast was a simple bowl of noodles. Regardless, Su Jinghan ate it with great relish. In 3 to 5 minutes, she finished a huge bowl, looking as if she still wanted more. Speaking of which, she eats so much. Is not she afraid of getting fat? Sure, you are really pretty, but you can't just eat like this. You will eventually turn into a ball and never get married. I was fuming internally but did not dare speak. Su Jinghan ate happily, but I was not feeling so great. Having someone sitting right beside me, and a woman at that, I was forced to eat my noodles much more delicately. I was truly making myself suffer. If you eat noodles without slurping, half the flavor is lost. Little brother, sit here. I washed the 2 bowls and came out, only to see Su Jinghan patting the spot next to her, telling me to come over. Meeting Su Jinghan's gaze, I hesitated for a moment before walking over. Dear readers, please forgive this humble author. It is not that I do not want to go right. I am just a victim of circumstance. Su Jinghan suddenly grabbed my wrist and pulled me down to sit next to her. Such strength. Before I could even marvel at it, my whole body crashed into Su Jinghan. Our arms were pressed tightly together. I am sorry. I scrambled to shuffle away, opening up some distance between us. It clearly was not my fault. So why was I apologizing? I was used to acting like an elementary school student who made a mistake. Both hands placed firmly on my thighs, arms pressed tightly to my sides, looking absolutely pitiful. Only when I was right next to Su Jinghan did I truly feel how terrifying she was. The aura she naturally exuded with every movement suffocated me. We were people from 2 completely different worlds. How did we end up as roommates? Su Jinghan sniffed lightly. Pulling me over created a slight breeze, carrying my unique scent. It was something the blanket could not even compare to. Her urge to tie me up to her bed grew even stronger. Seeing my nervous demeanor, she asked, "Are you that afraid of me?" And no, I am not. That is what my mouth said. But my body was very honest. I scooted even further away. Noticing this movement, a flash of displeasure crossed Su Jinghan's eyes. As the princess of the wealthiest family, the Su family, there was no telling how many people wanted to sit beside her. More than a handful of people had been beaten up for trying to sit next to her. But look at me. The opportunity is right in front of me, and I am letting it slip by. I am trying to say that I can't handle such blessings. Su Jinghan grabbed me and yanked me back. Even if you can't handle it, you have to enjoy it. I felt so weak right then. I am nearly 1.8 meters tall, for crying out loud. But in front of her, I was like a toy. How is her strength so immense? Is she hiding a muscular Barbie physique under those clothes? I sat obediently beside Su Jinghan, not daring to move an inch. Heaven knows if I get grabbed again, will I suffer a brutal beating. As a poor, lonely soul, I just have to endure it. Little brother, have you found an internship yet? Do you want your sister to introduce you to Owen? Su Jinghan had it all planned out. She would pull me into her company. I would not have to do anything at all. Just sit in her office as a lucky mascot. Room and board provided, and whatever salary I wanted. That way, whether working or off the clock, she could see me all the time. It was a perfect plan. Naturally, I refused. I have found Owen. No need to trouble you, sister, to actually reject her again. Su Jinghan started feeling that I did not appreciate her kindness. Every graduation season, countless people fought tooth and nail, desperate to get a job at Jingshan Group. Now, the opportunity was right in front of me. and I rejected it. It seems directly kidnapping me back home would be the better choice. Does not sister need to go to work? Maybe it was because I got used to calling her sister. That was just how I addressed Sujingen now. I never liked calling people by their full names. Once full names are involved, what follows is usually very serious business. The atmosphere would turn tense in a split second. Today is Saturday. Su Jinghan felt annoyed. Just how much does this guy not want to see her? I swear to God, I just genuinely dread this kind of conversation right now. Su Jinghan and I had only been roommates for 2 days. We were complete strangers. Plus, I genuinely did not know today was Saturday. As a writing slave, weekends do not exist for me. I sat on the sofa, counting the seconds. This was my unique way of coping with awkwardness. Immerse myself in my own world, and pretend to be invisible. At that moment, Su Jinghan spoke up and asked, "Do you have any plans later? I will give you one more chance. It is not time to kidnap you just yet. Later I need to buy groceries." I swiftly corrected myself. There is no way I would ever let Su Jinghan know I write novels. Not in this lifetime. Saying that, I stood up. I will head out first. Finally, this terrifying conversation can end. Wait, Su Jinghan stood up as well. How could she let the meat already at her lips escape? I do not have anything to do anyway. I will go with you. What? Did I hear that right? I wanted to cry. Do not two people walking together on the street need to talk? Let us not even discuss what to talk about. People listening in public, just thinking about all the weird stares. Oh my God, are there any rocket tickets off this planet left? Expedite and for me, please. I did not even get a chance to protest. Su Jinghan had already returned to her room to change, leaving me only with the heavy thud of a closing door. Su Jinghan rummaged through her clothes. One piece after another was thrown onto the bed. When a woman places importance on an outing, she inevitably falls into the agonizing process of choosing an outfit. Even though they were all perfect, it felt like each one was missing a little something. She wanted to wear something sexy, to take me down directly. But she was also afraid of scaring away her socially anxious little roommate. She felt that a man-killer outfit in front of me would probably backfire. It is not that I would not be tempted. It is that my reaction to temptation would undoubtedly be to run away. Moreover, her wardrobe did not seem to have any man-killer outfits anyway. She would need to buy a few new pieces. In the end, Su Jinghan chose a mature, older sister style. It was her natural style to begin with, and the most effective weapon against young boys. Sorry for the wait. Opening the door, she found me already sitting on the sofa. It looked like I had been waiting for a while. However, once she got a clear look at my outfit, she instantly did not know whether to laugh or cry. I was wearing a black baseball cap, the brim pulled low to obscure my eyes, a black mask covered my mouth and nose, and a high-collared jacket wrapped entirely around my neck. You could say that besides my hands, not a single inch of skin was exposed. This was my everyday going-out outfit, stealth mode. No, this outfit does not look good. Su Jinghan was very unsatisfied. Even though my physique made the outfit look kind of cool, why hide that handsome face? She would not be able to see it at all. If she walked alongside me like this, passers-by would probably mistake me for a perverted stalker. At the door to my room, I was dragged over by Su Jinghan. Su Jinghan pointed at the door lock.
Password.
I scratched my head. Are we really being this blatant? Could you? Turn around for a second. I have not forgotten that Su Jinghan is a pervert. My blanket has not even been returned yet. It is likely met a terrible fate. Su Jinghan pretended not to understand my look. She wanted to use this opportunity to get the passcode to my room for a future break-in. I shifted my feet and quickly tapped in the passcode. The enemy was already at the gates. I could not retreat any further. The socially anxious must take a stand. Su Jinghan did not catch the passcode. She only knew it was 6 digits. Her gaze as she stared at my back shifted slightly. He is already my person, and he still dares to have little secrets. I will let you off for now, but eventually I will make you tell me everything. My room was very simple and very clean. Su Jinghan nodded in satisfaction. What satisfied her the most was that the entire room was filled with my scent. It left her longing for it. She really wanted to live in here forever. My wardrobe did not have many clothes. They were all common sportswear. The colors were monotonous, and while clean, they looked a bit worn. Su Jinghan felt the fabric of the clothes. A wan touch. And she knew. They were all cheap items, none exceeding $100. How could her precious little brother wear things like this? She will buy the most expensive ones for him. I did not really think much of it myself. I was used to living poorly when I was young. So I stopped caring about this stuff a long time ago. As long as it is wearable, it is fine. It is only because you have not found the 9.9 free shipping deals. Otherwise, you would find the clothes in here expensive. This is the unique discipline of a multi-millionaire like me. Su Jinghan casually picked out an outfit that looked youthful and energetic. The handsome charm belonging to a 22-year-old like me needs to be shown off. As for the flirty women it might attract, she could handle them. Holding the clothes, I stared at Su Jinghan in surprise. Are not you going to wait outside? Do I really have to remind you of this? Who knew Su Jinghan, seeing me stay still, would actually try to step forward and undress me herself? It scared me so much I practically shoved her out the door. My innocence was almost lost. Standing outside the door, Su Jinghan's eyes held a slightly obsessive glint. You will have to show it all to me sooner or later anyway. What is there to be shy about? I quickly changed clothes and walked out. Su Jinghan stepped forward and linked her arm through mine. This really scared the life out of me. I instinctively tried to pull away, but brushed against something soft. My face instantly flushed red. Sister, men and women should not be so close. You are crossing the line. As long as I can remember, hardly anyone has ever touched me. Even casual arm draping between good friends had never happened, let alone contact with the opposite sex. Even though it felt nice, I knew it was not something I should long for. Just by her aura alone, I knew Su Jinghan was not someone I could ever match. However, Su Jinghan was very displeased. In 25 years, a man who actually caught her eye had finally appeared. How could she let me run away? She forcefully grabbed my arm and dragged me out the door. Her strength was incredible. The bedroom door had not even been shut yet. My headphones were still on the computer desk. Honestly, going out without headphones feels like a death sentence. I experienced the highest level of attention in my entire life. The moment we stepped out, we drew everyone's eyes. I saw with my own eyes someone crash into a streetlight because they were turning around to stare at Su Jinghan. I admit Su Jinghan is beautiful with exceptional temperament, but there is really no need to stare like that. I tried pulling my arm out, but to my surprise, she hugged it even tighter. Even the slightest movement would make me brush against areas I should not be touching. What on earth did she eat growing up to end up like this? How is her strength so immense? That area seems pretty big too. Like a marionette, I let Su Jinghan drag me along. Little brother, how about we buy this to take back? Little brother, do you know how to cook this? It was as if Su Jinghan was visiting a supermarket for the first time. She wanted to buy this. She wanted to buy that. She looked ready to empty the entire store. I answered absent-mindedly, looking at the 6 dishes already in the shopping cart. Sister, we really do not need to buy this much. It won't be fresh tomorrow. With all this food, it will be a struggle just to finish it today. School starts tomorrow. Unless something happens, I will be eating lunch at the cafeteria. Dinner will be sorted out on my way back. By Monday, all these vegetables will be wilted. Is it a lot? Su Jinghan glanced at the shopping cart. It seems like it might be. Listen to what I just said. Does that sound like normal human conversation? Is it? Then let us go. Su Jinghan pulled me out of the supermarket. It is finally over. I wanted to tilt my head back and roar at the sky in relief, but who knew Su Jinghan would suddenly say, "Let us come back tomorrow." My head was full of question marks. You still want there to be a tomorrow? Is she planning to leech off me forever? The groceries were paid for by Su Jinghan. I did not stop her. My previous frugal lifestyle made me a bit stingy, with a tendency to take small advantages. I am cooking for her, so it is not too much to ask her to pay for the day's groceries, right? In the afternoon, I hid in my little room. I can't pull an all-nighter tonight. And who knows what time I will get back tomorrow. I need to build up a backlog of chapters today. Just as I was deeply immersed in writing, a knock sounded at my door at the worst possible time. Oh, come on guys, seriously. How could you pick such a terrible time? Once this flow is broken, there is a high chance I won't be able to get back into it today. With no other choice, I got up to open the door. What is it? I opened the door just a crack, using my body to block the gap perfectly, so Su Jinghan could not see inside. But this sneaky behavior inevitably gave Su Jinghan the wrong idea. Are you doing something naughty? Do not little boys your age all like to watch shameful things on their computers? My man absolutely cannot do such things, unless I am right there beside him to help. Saying that, Su Jinghan swiftly sidestepped me and approached the computer. Thankfully, the desktop was very clean. Besides the built-in system software, there was only the game Black Myth, Wukong and a music app. It practically looked like a brand new computer. Next, she tried to open the window I had just minimized. I wanted to stop her, but it seemed too late. Are you writing a novel? Su Jinghan already knew, but she still could not resist opening the author dashboard's main page. This title, The Bossy Sister and Her Socially Anxious Little Brother. Su Jinghan read it out loud softly. Are you writing about the two of us? No, I am not. I hastily waved my hands. This type of story is popular on the platform right now. I am just following the trend. Why did she have to read the title out loud? And read it right in front of me. Is this a public execution? Mu Family's little baby. I was truly about to lose it. Please do not read that embarrassing pen name out loud. Goodbye, readers. If this author is setting sail tonight, do not miss me. That night, I had a dream. I actually dreamed of Su Jinghan calling me little baby. And right in front of everyone, too. In that instant, all eyes fell on me, like burning lasers, threatening to melt me away completely. I jolted awake from the bed, drenched in sweat. I checked my phone. It was only 6 a.m. Registration for the new semester started at 9 a.m. at the earliest, and 5 p.m. at the latest. Actually, it was just getting a stamp on the student ID to prove that you showed up for the semester. I took a shower to calm down. I felt that given Su Jinghan's personality, the events in my dream were bound to happen sooner or later. Ignoring the time, I hurriedly dashed to the school. Without even eating breakfast, Su Jinghan probably woke up around 8 a.m. She did not sleep well yesterday. The lingering scent on the blanket was getting weaker and weaker. She had to bury her face deep into it just to smell it. She nearly suffered from insomnia again. She got out of bed. Time to go tie up little brother. No, Anne was in the living room. The door to my room was shut tight. Su Jinghan lowered her eyes. Did not he just talk to me about sleeping early and waking up early yesterday? Sleeping in again today. She knocked on my bedroom door. No answer. Sleeping so soundly. Does that mean it will be much easier for me to do things to him later? She sat on the sofa to wait, waiting for little brother to wake up and cook for her. But I had not come out even by 9:30 a.m. How could there be anyone inside? I was already on my way to school, having bought some steamed buns. After interacting for a few days, I also had some guesses about Su Jinghan's identity. She is probably some rich second gen who got tired of having everything handed to her on a silver platter and ran away from home to experience life. As for her attitude towards me, it should be fondness. But I do not think it is love. The shelf life of romance is 4 months. If she is still interested in you after 4 months, only then is it true love. Right now, Su Jinghan is merely attracted to my looks. Once that initial excitement fades, her fondness for me will dissipate. Even though Su Jinghan is truly beautiful, I constantly warned myself in my heart that I absolutely cannot fall for her. The gap between us is too vast. The family behind Su Jinghan would absolutely never agree to this relationship. In the end, I would be the own losing face. And what if Su Jinghan really did fall in love with me in the end, and went against her family for my sake, staging a grand drama of wealthy families? I would feel guilty about that too, because the thing I hate most is causing trouble for others. Love rises with the wind, so let the wind stop as soon as possible. I walked alone through the campus. Rongjin University is massive. In 4 years, I have never truly taken the time to look at it, and in the blink of an eye I will be leaving it forever. For an introverted homebody. This place will no longer be a place I visit. I politely declined everyone who came up asking for my WeChat, and walked through the campus own last time. I really enjoyed the solitary time under the sun. I did not dare return to the rented apartment. Today is Sunday, and Soo Jinghyun was not working. I had not made her breakfast or lunch. I wonder if she will twist my head right off when she sees me. Suddenly, a commotion arose behind me. I turned to see a luxury car driving over. I thought it was probably another rich kid coming to pick up girls. But the luxury car stopped right beside me. As the window rolled down, I saw the person I did not want to see in this lifetime. She chased after me. She actually chased after me. Is it because I did not make her breakfast and lunch? If I try to run away now, will she just drive the car straight into me and kill me? Sitting on the sofa. The more Soo Jinghyun thought about it, the more wrong it felt. It was almost noon. Why was there no sound at all? She remembered that I had to register at school today. I should not have forgotten. She got up and knocked on the door again. Finally, she realized the problem. Could I have already left? Left directly without even saying a word. Soo Jinghyun was a bit angry. It felt as if once I left, I would never come back. She changed her clothes, grabbed her car keys, and hurried to Rongjin University. She did not even care about eating breakfast. Do not think she did not know the registration process at Rongjin University. Something that takes a mere 2.5 minutes to handle. And he has not returned yet. I knew he would be out messing around. I must catch him and bring him back. So, she drove frantically all the way to Rongjin University. The university grounds were vast. Soo Jinghyun drove around several times before. She spotted me taking a walk on campus. And she happened to see female students standing next to me. Suppressing the urge to run them over directly, she stopped beside me. The moment the car stopped, a crowd gathered around. I could faintly hear a few voices discussing the extraordinary nature of this luxury car. You could not get it for less than 10 or 20 million. Everyone wanted to see what someone with that kind of wealth looked like. The car door opened. The moment Soo Jinghyun's long legs, clad in black sheer tights, stepped out, I heard the collective gasp from the surrounding crowd. Sister's legs are longer than my lifespan. Soo Jinghyun had purposefully worn high heels today. Standing in front of me, she was half a head taller than me. The pressure was immense. I kept my head down. I had to admit, Soo Jinghyun was truly too dazzling. Does anyone know who she is? So, she was looking for our aloof campus god. No wonder the campus god did not date for 4 years of college. He was already taken all along. I could hear the voices discussing me all around. What was my image in their minds right now? A kept man relying on his good looks. I stood silently with my head bowed, not bothering to refute the comments of those around me. I had long been accustomed to filtering out the gossip and rumors of others. Arguing is not the way to solve a problem. More often than not, I would be the one ending up having to apologize and pay compensation. Who told me to be just an unwanted child? Without anyone to back me up, I just have to endure it. Soo Jinghyun looked at me, silent with my head bowed. She raised her hands, hugged my head and pulled me into her embrace, giving me a firm, suffocating faceplant into her chest. I froze instantly. Leaning against Soo Jinghyun's embrace, I did not dare move a muscle. What exactly was this sister trying to do? Were not we just at the hand-holding stage yesterday? Is not this progressing way too fast?
Sisses.
My voice was trembling. My heart was already in my throat. If Soo Jinghyun had not been holding me right now, my legs would have given out completely. In 22 years, when had I ever experienced something like this? A boy who blushes just from holding hands. How could I possibly handle such blessings? What must the people around be thinking of me? The hot breath exhaled from my mouth hit Soo Jinghyun's delicate skin. Her face turned red. It was the first time a man had been this close to her. But holding him felt so incredibly nice. Little baby, do not be mad at your big sister anymore, okay? Everything from yesterday was my fault. Soo Jinghyun's tone carried a hint of grievance. I could no longer process what Soo Jinghyun was saying. The moment the words little baby came out, I was struck dumb right where I stood. Last night's nightmare had come true. How could I ever show my face at school again? Just imagine, every time I walk past someone, they would call me little baby. their words filled with teasing and mockery. I felt like I was going to die. Little baby, I promise I will never throw a tantrum at you again. I just love you too much. I am so afraid of losing you. I was thinking about you so much today, I did not even eat breakfast or lunch. Oh my God. That voice was so pitiful. If I did not know the truth, I would have completely believed it. A woman's mouth is a deceiving ghost, it is absolutely true. By now, the onlooker's anger had reached its peak. Such a fine cabbage, ruined by a pig. Sister, look at me. I am very obedient. This could not go on any longer. Holding onto Su Jinghan's shoulders, I lifted my head.
Sis.
Let us go home and talk. Okay. I was genuinely terrified. If we did not leave now, I was really going to be beaten to death. Su Jinghan looked at me with a wronged expression. Then you have to promise to make me something delicious when we get home. I got lost in Su Jinghan's eyes. For a split second, I actually felt a pang of heartache for her. But wait, I had not even done anything. These were all lies she fabricated. Okay, I could not care less anymore. In this situation, no one would believe a word I said. I could already imagine myself becoming famous on the school forum momentarily. But it is fine. If I do not look at the forum, it means none of this happened. Su Jinghan smiled sweetly, a smile that could topple a city. Holding my hand, she opened the car door for me. Sitting in the passenger seat, I felt like a complete country bumpkin. I did not even know how to put on the seatbelt in a $10 million luxury car. Usually, you just pull it down and that is it. Did I skip a meal today? Why won't it budge? Sitting in the driver's seat, Su Jinghan leaned over, slowly inching closer to me, and fastened the seatbelt for me. While I had no idea why Su Jinghan could pull it, was not she taking advantage of me? Her face was practically buried in my neck. Did she really need to be this close? I even felt a momentary dampness. Su Jinghan was bursting with joy internally. With a stomp on the gas, she sped out of the campus gates, leaving behind the still gossiping crowd. The drama was huge today. Little brother is truly too naive. The reason it would not budge was, of course, because she had locked the seatbelt. How could she let her little brother fasten his own seatbelt? For such a dangerous task, Big Sister naturally had to help. I must admit, it was indeed dangerous. I was completely taken advantage of. While making dinner in the kitchen, I concluded that there must be something wrong with Su Jinghan, dragging me all the way back, just to make her food. With all that effort, why not just order takeout, or just eat out directly? Sitting on the sofa, sitting right next to Su Jinghan, I felt this was a punishment for myself, punishing myself to watch her eat. Well, I should not say that. She did invite me to eat together, but I was already full a long time ago. Ugh. Finally, I was able to return to my little room and collapse onto my bed. My social energy for today was completely overdrawn. I could not step outside for the next few days. Time to type. Bouncing up from the bed, the hard-working writing machine was back online. Monday morning, sleeping while hugging the blanket, Su Jinghan heard a knock on the door. She was surprised that I would actually come to wake her up. On the table was a fully prepared breakfast. She gave me a huge hug. Little baby, you are so sweet. Feeling the softness against my chest, I coughed lightly. Could we drop the little part? A man's damn vanity. Just can't stand the word little. Are you big then? Let me see. Saying that, Su Jinghan actually reached her hands out. The corner of my mouth twitched. This female pervert. Hurry up and wash up. It is going to get cold. All right, whatever you say, baby. The word little was gone. I watched Su Jinghan's back, a helpless smile curving on my lips. Then, as if having made a decision, I withdrew my gaze. No more running away. I sat beside her, keeping Su Jinghan company, as if I were already used to it. Yet, it was clearly only the third day. Finished eating, should not you go to work now? Su Jinghan indeed needed to go to work. Although she had trusted aides overseeing every department, allowing the company to run independently, as the first day of the week, the CEO still needed to make an appearance. Otherwise, the employees might think the boss had run away. A wonderful breakfast makes for a great mood at work. Do you think Boss Su is dating someone? How is that possible? What happened to those who pursued Boss Su in the past? It is not like you did not see. Su Jinghan possessed both wealth and beauty. The rich kids pursuing her were an endless stream. But as one left, another came. And there is a reason she remained single. Too violent. Everyone at Jingxun Group had witnessed the fate of those who relentlessly pestered Su Jinghan. What happened to them resulted in no one daring to pursue Su Jinghan now. Regarding Su Jinghan's combat prowess, I had a profound understanding of it. Absolute strength overpowers all techniques. With her strength, she could probably thrash 10 of me. Su Jinghan heard it all. She just did not want to engage with these people. She genuinely felt nothing for the men who proposed to her. Even she had thought she was destined to grow old alone, until I appeared. Work today was very leisurely. The workaholic, unprecedentedly, did not work overtime. She even left early, driving her luxury car home before 5 p.m. Her little husband was still waiting for her at home. She just wanted to put the pedal to the metal. Unfortunately, her little husband was not at home. Su Jinghan opened the door. The house was dark and dead silent. Baby. Little Moo. Little baby. No and answered. Is he not home? Only then did she remember that the two of them had not even added each other on WeChat. They had no contact information whatsoever. She should have added everything yesterday when she could not find me. It was all my sugar-coated bullets yesterday that were too fierce, making her forget all about it. She sat on the sofa waiting for my return. She waited for 2.5 hours. By 7 p.m., there was still no sign of me. Su Jinghan clenched her fists. Could it be that he went out to find other young girls again? Thinking of the other girls approaching me at school yesterday made her furious. With a kick, she busted my bedroom door open. It was completely empty inside. The person and his belongings were long gone. Su Jinghan stood stunned for a moment. How could she not realize that I had run away? She finally found someone who made her heart flutter. How could she let him escape? Her fists clenched tight. An unprovoked rage flared up inside her. She immediately dialed a number. Find out where Mu Sin went. Then, she turned and headed out the door. This morning, I pressed against the window, watching Su Jinghan's car drive away. I waited for about another half hour. Then I called the landlord I had checked out yesterday. I had to hurry. I did not know if Su Jinghan would come back for lunch. If I got caught red-handed, my dignity would be shattered. So, I hurriedly packed my things and left. For the sake of secrecy, I even forfeited the remaining months of rent. I could not let Sister Zhao know I was moving. Learning from my last renting experience, I chose a own bedroom apartment. Renting the whole unit was cheaper than a 2-bedroom, and I would not have to worry about a roommate. My new home was 2 kilometers away from the old place. For someone like me who never steps foot outside the main door, let alone the inner door, it should be very difficult for anyone to find me. After unpacking, I opened my computer in a cheerful mood and typed 6,000 words. It only took me an hour. As expected, a quiet environment is the best for work. That evening, I opened the door just a crack and sneakily poked my head out. It was past working hours now. Su Jinghan must have discovered I left. There was no one blocking the door. My tracks had not been exposed. I ate a casual dinner and went to the supermarket to buy some groceries. In the end, cooking myself suits my taste much better. And it saves a lot of money too. Carrying the groceries and humming a little tune on my way home, I spotted an unbelievable figure at my doorstep, standing in the darkness, like a grim reaper. Who else could be standing at the door but Su Jinghan? I hastily pulled down my cap and turned to leave. Since this woman managed to find this place, she definitely knows my apartment number. It is better for me to go out and lay low for a bit. Stop right there. Su Jinghan's somewhat icy voice rang out. Hearing that, my entire body trembled. Did she recognize me even like this? At first, Su Jinghan truly did not recognize me. This sneaky, suspicious figure looked just like a thief. However, when that faint fragrance drifted into her nose, that unique scent was so familiar, and she finally realized my outfit right now was incredibly similar to the own she saw the day before yesterday. I paused slightly, then bolted. I do not know why, but I just felt like I would be caught by Su Jinghan, dragged home, and hung up for a beating. How could my delicate skin ever endure that? I mashed the elevator button twice. But the elevator was already going up. I will just take the stairs. But the moment I turned around, Su Jinghan caught me. The advantage of having long legs was fully demonstrated in this moment. Su Jinghan leaned own hand against the wall, pinning me between the two elevators. Her face was getting closer and closer. My body tensed up, and I lowered my eyes to stare at my toes. My face instantly flushed completely red. This distance was way too close. I could even feel the heat from Su Jinghan's breath. My blush deepened. Su Jinghan felt that she had inadvertently discovered something incredibly fun. I was far too easy to fluster. Just like a shy little girl. Despite having a face that could captivate thousands of girls, he was actually just an innocent virgin boy. Is not that what makes him so cute? The anger she had when she arrived vanished in an instant, but she still had to put on an act. Otherwise, I would not learn my lesson, and I would dare to run away again next time. She reached out and took the Bluetooth earbud off my ear, then gently removed my mask. The entire process was incredibly gentle, but inside, I felt like I was suffering pure torment. Big sister, please do not be like this. Just hit me or scold me, okay? Acting like this is making me feel incredibly guilty. Su Jinghan's delicate fingers gently lifted my chin. I could not help but swallow hard. Are not our roles completely reversed right now? At that moment, the elevator arrived at our floor, and the doors slid open. A pot-bellied, middle-aged man stared at the scene in disbelief. Holy crap! What kind of sci-fi movie is this? Just as he was about to lean in for a closer look, Su Jinghan shot him an icy glare. Her aura instantly turned as cold as frost. Oh shit! Such murderous intent. The man trembled, frantically mashing the close door button, and desperately got away. Good luck, brother. A tigress like that. I definitely could not handle her. He could run, but I could not. In that instant, my heart skipped a beat. I stammered, unable to form a coherent sentence. My calves were trembling. This woman really was a wolf in sheep's clothing. Everything she did just now was just an act. Now that her true colors were exposed, she would not actually beat me up, would she? Thinking of her immense strength, my voice shook. Sister, could we not aim for the face, please? I imagined going out tomorrow with scars all over my face, drawing the constant stares of passers-by. If that really happened, I would never be able to leave the house again in this lifetime. Su Jinghan turned her head, her smile blooming. The cold, powerful aura vanished. Holy crap! Can this woman change her face this fast? However, that coldness was already deeply branded into my mind. Now, her smile just felt even more terrifying. The hand Su Jinghan had under my chin slowly lifted. Here it comes. Here it comes. She is going to hit me. I squeezed my eyes shut tight. Her fingertips glided across my face. My body shuddered uncontrollably, as if struck by electricity. It was obvious that I was terrified to the extreme. Su Jinghan suddenly felt a pang of guilt. Had she gone too far? Her little brother looked like he was about to cry from fear. I waited for death to descend, and felt her fingers slide past my cheek to the back of my neck. It is over. She is going to snap my neck. She is actually going to snap my neck. Then, I felt a massive force pull me up. Opening my eyes, I saw a snow-white neck. Behind my back, a delicate hand gently patted me. Su Jinghan was holding me, like coaxing a wronged baby. Wait, this does not seem to match the plot I had imagined. My voice was weak and trembling. Why are you hugging me again? Our relationship has not reached this level yet, has it? I am a somewhat traditional person. In my view, some things should only be done with the person you have committed your life to. Doing them with anyone else is crossing the line. There are two kinds of social anxiety. One stems from inner fear, and the other from high moral standards without any backing. The former shrinks back before facing a situation, while the latter is overly constrained when facing it. I, unfortunately, suffer from both. Let us go home and talk. Su Jinghan took my hand and walked me to the door of my newly rented apartment. The elevator came up. I let Su Jinghan pull me along, feeling the softness of her hand. Some unknown impulse possessed me, and I gave it a little squeeze. It really felt so nice. But the moment I did it, I regretted it. With my head lowered, I knew Su Jinghan had turned back to look at me. At a time like this, playing dumb is the best strategy. Maybe it was an accident. When did I get so bold? A faint smile played on the corners of Su Jinghen's lips. It is good that he has ideas. Otherwise, what is the point of me taking all the initiative? I was also very surprised. When did I get this bold? Is this still the same me who would cower? Just making eye contact with the opposite sex. Open the door. Ah. Oh, I snapped out of my daze. Turns out we were already at the door. Should I open it? Going inside might change everything. But what other choice do I have now? Just open it. As usual, I took a step sideways to block Su Jinghan's view. This is my habit, a safeguard for my own security. However, Su Jinghan was not having it. We have lived under the same roof, and we have even hugged. Why is he still guarding against me like a thief? She reached out and wrapped her arms around my waist, pressing tightly against my back. She rested her head on my shoulder. My fingers froze in midair. Sister? This is not very appropriate. What if someone sees us? My life would be ruined. What is wrong? Su Jinghan lifted her head slightly and whispered right into my ear. Open the door. The hot breath blowing into my ear felt like a lightning strike, sending a numb weakness through my entire body. My face flushed red all the way to the tips of my ears. At this moment, I did not even have the strength to lift my hand. My entire weight slumped completely onto Su Jinghan. Sister? You are too close. That Owen sentence seemed to drain all my strength. Su Jinghan's eyes curved in amusement. She seemed to have discovered a strange switch on her little brother. She did not continue teasing me. There would be plenty of time for that later. She stood up from leaning on me. But before doing so, her hands gave my stomach a little squeeze. It feels like he has abs. Squeezing it confirms it, he really does. She considered it compensation for little brother squeezing her hand earlier. Little baby, hurry up and open the door. Sister is hungry. She had come rushing over without even eating. Hearing this, I let out a bitter sigh. It seems I have truly been completely manipulated by her. I entered the passcode and opened the door. The passcode had been seen by Su Jinghan again. This secret base was not safe anymore either. In a own bedroom apartment, only the main entrance has a passcode lock. The bedroom door inside has no lock. Just imagine Su Jinghan sneaking over at night, entering the passcode, opening the door, and quietly approaching the bed while I am fast asleep, pulling out a gleaming dagger to harvest my kidneys. How terrifying. Good thing I write at night and sleep during the day. I absolutely cannot let her figure out that routine. With her long legs, Su Jinghan walked over to the sofa and sat down. The moment she crossed her legs, all I could see was a blinding flash of white. Wearing such a short skirt late at night, is not she afraid of running into bad guys? Then I remembered Su Jinghan's strength. If she applied that to a groin kick, just thinking about it made me cross my legs tight. I should probably start practicing my kneeling and apologizing posture. Actually, this was not Su Jinghan's usual style of dress. Today, it was purely to get a handle on her little brother. Close the door and come here. Su Jinghan suddenly changed her tone. Like a descending queen. Oh, I found myself closing the door obediently, and sat down beside her. It was not until I sat down that I realized what I had done. Su Jinghan's voice seemed to possess a kind of magic, making people subconsciously obey. And I was inherently insecure. The domineering aura radiating from Su Jinghan terrified me. I was too scared to even attempt to resist. Yet, simultaneously, I wanted to get closer. For someone who grew up lacking love, it truly felt like a strong sense of security. Tell me, why did you run away? Great. The sense of security vanished instantly. My lease was up. Nonsense. I asked Sister Zhao. Your lease is not up for another 4 months. Right now, Su Jinghan wanted nothing more than to strangle me. It has already come to this. And he is still lying. But thinking about how he was the only little brother she had, she decided to let it slide. With a little training, he will be perfectly usable. Ah, well. I did not expect this woman to investigate so thoroughly. Did Sister Zhao leak my whereabouts? No, wait. I did not tell her. Now was not the time to ponder this. Su Jinghan was visibly on the verge of exploding in anger. If I did not say something soon, the consequences would probably be severe. I quickly changed the subject. Sister? Are not you hungry? I will go cook for you first. Just wait a moment. Saying that, I hastily got up and ran to the kitchen. I originally wanted to make something delicious to shut Su Jinghan's mouth, hoping this whole incident would just blow over. But the moment I entered the kitchen, I was dumbfounded. I forgot I was not at the old shared apartment anymore. There were no cooking utensils here. Just own large iron wok and a boiling pot. Oh, for crying out loud. The sky is falling. There is no escaping a beating today. No. I have to put up a fight. I walked back to Su Jinghan and sat down. I put on my most obedient smile. Sister? Let me treat you to a meal outside, okay? My tone was as humble as it gets. My eyes pleading. How could Su Jinghan possibly agree? She rushed over here in the middle of the night and waited at my door. For so long. Was not it just to eat a meal cooked by her little brother's own hands? You left without a single word. Your sister was worried something happened to you. I came looking for you without even eating. And now you won't even cook a meal for me. My head was full of question marks. Am I truly a terrible person? But wait. Am I truly a terrible person? No, wait. This woman is totally manipulating me. Looking at Su Jinghan clinging to my arm, even I, the person involved, almost believed her words. Is this the power of a woman's tenderness? I frantically waved my hands. No, it is not that. There are no pots here. Su Jinghan blinked. That was an oversight. The shared apartment was fully equipped with kitchenware. As someone renting for the first time, Su Jinghan thought they were standard issue. Who knew I had bought them all piece by piece over time? You should go now. Su Jinghan and I stood downstairs. We had just eaten at a random small restaurant to satisfy our hunger. After having my cooking, Su Jinghan felt that all other places tasted the same. Not good. Su Jinghan stepped into the elevator. I ate too much. I can't walk back. The corner of my mouth twitched. Are you even listening to yourself? I watched you the whole time earlier. Even feeding a cat takes more food than what she ate. And thinking back to her appetite the past few days, she definitely was not full. Besides, she drove here. Inputting the passcode, Su Jinghan swept through the living room and into the bedroom. I had already made the bed, and she laid down on it with practiced ease, not feeling anything was wrong at all. I will just sleep here for tonight. The blanket could no longer put her to sleep peacefully. She either had to sleep in my room, or sleep while holding me. Naturally, she preferred the latter. Seeing this, I was completely dumbfounded. If you sleep here, where am I supposed to sleep? To avoid having a roommate, I specifically rented a own bedroom apartment. And now look, the roommate is gone, but I have a bed-sharing partner instead. It seems I have dug my own grave. Standing at the door, I tried to think of a way to get her to leave. Looking at Su Jinghan lying on the bed, her figure and face so flawless, it was hard not to be moved. To be honest, in just 3 days, with her constantly calling me little brother this, and little brother that right next to my ear, even I was starting to have the illusion that I really did have a big sister. It was warm and made me feel attached. But I knew Su Jinghan's feelings for me were definitely not just those of a sister. It was leaning more towards romantic love. Perhaps getting out early is the best way to go. I was truly terrified of sinking too deep into it. Unable to extricate myself, I gritted my teeth and raised my voice slightly. Sit up. I pulled up a stool and sat down in front of Su Jinghan. Looking at her elegant posture, I suddenly wavered. Such a wonderful sister. But the better she was, the more I felt I was not good enough for her. She is a rich second-generation heir. And I am just an unwanted orphan. I am going to put everything out in the open today. Maybe you have not realized your own feelings yet, but I have to tell you, you are a good person, but we are not suitable for each other. Well then, Su Jinghan was stunned. To think that an aloof female CEO like herself would one day get friend-zoned by a younger guy. If the rich kids who used to pursue her heard about this, they would definitely laugh at her behind her back. Why? Su Jinghan is an adult, 3 years older than me. She knew perfectly well what she was feeling in her heart. Lust at first sight was when she first saw me. Curiosity was when she learned about my past. Now, it has already transformed into genuine heart-fluttering love. I tapped my own head. You really are naive. We have only known each other for 3 days. How could it possibly be love? Right now, you are just caught up in infatuation. That is why you keep pestering me. Once this phase passes, we are bound to separate sooner or later. Infatuation is a disease. It needs to be cured. I used the harshest tone I have ever used in my life. My heart was pounding wildly, and my facade could crumble at any moment, but I was still holding on. There was more I needed to say. Look at you right now, climbing straight into my bed. What if I actually did something bad to you? When you snap out of it, crying won't do you any good. Su Jinghan had never been in a relationship in her life. She had always been too busy before. Busy studying. Busy managing the company. She had no time to observe others' romances. All she knew was that seeing me made her happy. It made her smile unconsciously. In 25 years, there had never been anyone like this. Are 3 days too short? When true destiny arrives, even a Owen's second gaze can determine a lifetime. But your sister just wanted to see you. Just wanted to hold you. For every second we are apart, your sister is thinking about you. Is love brain really this terrifying? My head started to throb. Why could not I get through to her? She is already 25. Yet she still acts like an irresponsible little girl. And what is wrong with the family behind her? How could they bear to let a silly girl like this live alone? Thank goodness I am a man of honor. Otherwise she would be in real trouble. Su Jinghan also felt a headache coming on. Many people were obsessed with her beauty. She disliked it when those people had inappropriate thoughts. Dealing with them was a hassle. Now, someone finally appeared. And she actually wished he had some naughty thoughts about her. Yet, he was such a perfect gentleman. She was offering herself up on a silver platter. And not only did I not want it, I even tried to push her away. Of course, Su Jinghan was secretly rejoicing inside. As expected of the man she had set her sights on, his character was indeed excellent. She did not care about anything else. As long as he was not a bad person, she could clear any obstacles between them. I just needed to be a good boy and stay by her side. Since I had thoughts on the matter, she decided to hear me out first. So, what do you think we should do? Now, I was suddenly stuck. What should we do? I did not seem to know either. Sigh. I do not understand love at all. Love between couples, love between family members. I do not understand any of it. I rested my chin on my hand, thinking deeply for a moment. At the very least, it can't be like how it is right now. It is progressing way too fast. We need to wait until we understand each other. I nodded after finishing my sentence. Everything I know about romance comes from novels. Although the content is entirely the author's imagination, thoroughly understanding each other surely can't be wrong. Su Jinghan could not help but laugh out loud. He held it in for half the day, only to squeeze out a sentence like that. Little brother really is too adorable. But I am so tired today. I do not want to move at all. Just let me sleep here for tonight, please. Su Jinghan was not willing to give up this rare opportunity. After sleeping well for a few days, she had started to despise her insomnia. Yesterday, signs of its return had begun to show. No. I turned my head away. 2 kilometers, you will be back in no time if you drive. Just endure it and head back. Even though holding Su Jinghan is very comfortable, it is still a no. I gritted my teeth. No matter what she says today, I absolutely cannot agree. Otherwise, next time I will have an even harder time refusing. Do not shake me. Acting spoiled won't work on me either. I was utterly speechless. A 1.8-meter tall mature woman was actually acting cute in front of me. Using this kind of tactic to test my resolve. Who could possibly withstand it? I will wake up earlier tomorrow and go over to cook for you. Fine. I will give you a way out. Take it while you can. I really can't hold out much longer. I roared internally. Su Jinghan was also feeling bitter inside right now. Her first attempt at acting cute had actually failed. Maybe she should watch some more videos and practice in the future. She stood up and yanked me up from the stool as well. She pinned me entirely against the wall and lifted my chin with own finger. Tell your sister, can I sleep here or not? Su Jinghan could not do the whole cutesy girl act anyway. When it came to things she wanted, she always preferred a more forceful approach. She was not discussing it with me. She was informing me. Looking at Su Jinghan with her aura fully unleashed, and hearing her unquestionable tone, I gulped.
Yes.
Su Jinghan leaned in and placed a light peck on my lips. Good boy. She had discovered another of my weaknesses. I yield to coercion, not persuasion. To survive, I am selfish, but I have my boundaries. Therefore, soft coaxing is useless on me. If I say I won't do it, I won't do it. But I have an inferiority complex, a deep own. When faced with a tough, unyielding attitude, it is very hard for me to hold my ground. That is why I hate going out and socializing. Feeling the brief warmth on my lips, I could not help but press them together. So, my first kiss was snatched away just like that by a woman I would only known. For 3 days. I had agreed in a daze. All the talking I did with Su Jingnan earlier went in own ear and out the other. She did not listen to a single word. Su Jinghan was already lying on the bed. As a man, my word is my bond. She finally got her wish to sleep in my bed. She is already 25 this year. Even if her family has not brought it up yet, she knows the dreaded marriage pressure is looming. Now that she finally found someone she is interested in, how could she let me go at such a critical moment? As for her family, they are easy to deal with. As long as he is a person of good character, it is fine. The Su family does not care if I have money or not anyway. Since No-one has more money than the Su family, there was no chance for me to back out now. I have no doubt that if I tried to force Su Jinghan to leave, this woman would just forcefully tie me to the bed. I will take a step back. I grabbed a blanket from the closet and headed for the sofa. I will just make do with sleeping here tonight. Do not try to stop me, or else you can leave. I saw Su Jinghan sitting up. So, I turned around and delivered a stern warning. I walked over and shut the bedroom door. Even though it did not have a lock. Out of sight, out of mind. Being the honorable gentleman I am, I naturally would not go opening a girl's door in the middle of the night. Su Jinghan did not force the issue. You can't push a person too hard. She had already gotten what she wanted today, and even discovered 2 of my weaknesses. There would be plenty of opportunities to wrap me around her finger in the future. Time to sleep. She hugged the blanket, ecstatic. The blanket was completely permeated with my lingering scent. Does this count as the 2 of us sharing a bed? It seems to fall a bit short. I have never slept in her bed or used her blanket. Su Jinghan lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. A little past 9 p.m. is way too early for modern people. It is definitely not bedtime yet. Her eyes flicked slightly toward the door. She was wondering if I might suddenly come in during the night. It is hard to say. With her charm being this great, could I really resist? What if I get up to use the bathroom and groggily walk into the wrong room? So, Su Jinghan prepared to give me a surprise. She sat up and took off her clothes. Since I did not bring pajamas, I can only sleep naked. Everything is ready, just waiting for me to enter. A girl's body has been seen by you. It would be wrong if you did not take responsibility, would not it? Then I can bring my little brother back home. At this moment, I have no idea that Su Jinghan is already in the house, setting a trap that is both extremely seductive and extremely wicked. I lie on the sofa, a bit unable to sleep. How did things turn out like this? Is it possible that heaven saw the loneliness of my early life and sent a fairy sister to accompany me? That is a bit nonsensical. I would rather believe that a honey trap has fallen upon me. After all, I have 10 million in my pocket. It is only normal for people to have designs on me. Sigh. I hate trouble the most. With my eyes closed, I count sheep in my heart. The sofa is not of great quality. It is a bit hard on the bones. I move around and finally find a comfortable position, gradually falling asleep. Suddenly, I jolt awake. I glance at my phone. It is only 11. I have slept for less than an hour. Lately, this happens often. Sleeping before 12 always results in waking up startled. When I wake up, I think it is dawn. But looking at the time, I realize it has only been an hour or 2. The most annoying part is, these 2 hours of sleep seem to relieve more fatigue than a whole night. I can't fall back asleep. I get up to drink water. Standing at the bedroom door, inside is a spider's lair, with a spider spirit waiting for me to enter. Su Jinghan is also awake. She also woke up startled. She stares outside the door. The 2 of us stare at each other through the door. yet neither can see the other. I do not go in, since I declined Su Jinghan's suggestion to sleep together. It is impossible for me to go back on my word and enter. I am just wondering, is Su Jinghan asleep? Probably. The bed is so comfortable. So what am I waiting for? Run for it. I turn around, grab my blanket, and head for the door. You just sleep here. This young master is going back to the other rented apartment. Su Jinghan frowns slightly. Her eyes, which had just closed, snap open. She thought she heard the faint sound of a door closing. She quickly gets up, puts on her clothes, opens the door, and bites her lip. She searches the entire house but finds no trace of me. He actually ran away again. Su Jinghan remains expressionless. She tidies herself up and heads out leisurely. Where I could go is already obvious. She does not believe for a second that I would go sleep under a bridge. So there is only own truth. Su Jinghan drives out to find me. Once she catches me, she will definitely make me pay. But shortly after heading out, she encounters me, traveling under the starlight. Su Jinghan intentionally slows down, following behind me at a snail's pace. She is still pondering how to punish me, so that I will learn my lesson. Then she notices it is starting to rain, and a drop of rain falls on my head. Oh no, it is raining. The weather forecast did not say it would rain tonight. Maybe it is a protest. The weather app on my phone just happens to pop up a red rainstorm warning for tonight. The rain gets heavier and heavier. What kind of forecast is this? Hindsight is 20/20, and you are even worse. I dash through the rain in my flip-flops, still choosing not to turn back. If I go back all soaked like this, what will Su Jinghan think of me? It would be a lie she would see right through. One of our only 2 blankets is wet. Sharing one blanket in the same bed would make escape impossible. I have no choice but to push on toward the other apartment. At this moment, I completely forget that I will still be exposed tomorrow. I do not care about that anymore. At worst, I will just say I was sleepwalking. What could she possibly do to me? I run faster and faster in the rain. Su Jinghan follows in her car. She can't help but pound the steering wheel. Am I really that scary? Turning back is clearly closer. Yet he insists on getting soaked to the bone. But looking at the wet look temptation of the person in front, seeing that home is only 500 meters away, she suddenly thinks of a way to deal with me. This time, she will definitely make me submissive. So she does not slow down. Instead, she speeds past me, splashing water all over me. Since you are already wet, you might as well be soaked through. That person is really something, driving so fast in the rain. I finally reach the front door of the apartment. As for the driver who splashed me, I do not exactly feel hatred. I am the type of person who just endures and moves on. I was already soaked. A little more did not matter. I just wonder how the driver is doing. They did not even know to slow down in the rain. I once had a thought of walking alone in the rain, destitute and helpless yet moving forward. In the past, it was just a thought. Catching a cold meant having to buy medicine. I did not have many bills in my pocket back then. Now it is finally realized. And I have plenty of bills. Tomorrow, I will reluctantly buy some cold medicine. I enter the passcode and open the door. Su Jinghan and I are roommates. Our entrance passcodes are different. Both were set by ourselves on a mobile app. However, when I turn on the light, there is a person sitting on the sofa, a pair of eyes filled with laughter, seemingly about to steal my soul. Why are you here? I am very surprised. I walked over a kilometer through the rain, only to escape right into the demon's mouth. Is this person some kind of Buddha? Su Jinghan stands up, smoothing out my wet, messy bangs. She is very gentle. The plan must still be executed. Such a perfect opportunity to take down her little brother in one go. Do you really not want to see your sister that much? Su Jinghan's voice sounds very hurt. Or do you actually want to sleep in my bed? Ah, well, both are death sentence answers. How am I supposed to respond? I lower my head, not daring to look at Su Jinghan. I really should have gone back when it started raining. Who could have guessed this woman would hog the bed and not sleep? Baby feels bitter. Baby does not want to talk. Su Jinghan tosses the blanket I had draped over my back aside. It is already soaked. If you cover yourself with this, you will catch a cold tomorrow. Her palm presses against my soaked clothes. feeling the heat of my chest. Su Jingyan suddenly pins me against the wall, lifting my head so our eyes meet. Answer me quickly. I am nervous to the extreme. Answer. How do I answer this? Answering the first own would be suicide. Answering the second own might actually result in being tossed onto the bed. I struggle to avert my gaze. I hate eye contact the most. There is no way to hide my inner panic. I feel like I am about to cry. Su Jinghan steadies my head, looking into my eyes. Tonight, she has discovered another of her little brother's weaknesses. Do you hate me? Knowing I am thin-skinned. She asks own question at a time. No. I frantically wave my hands and explain without hesitation. How could I possibly hate Su Jinghan? She is so beautiful. Then you want to sleep in my bed. Excitement gleams in Su Jinghan's eyes. Like a wolf seeing a lamb. She has slept in my bed. Now I am going to sleep in hers. Calculating and rounding up. It is equivalent to the two of us having shared a bed. How could I not know the passcode to Su Jinghan's room? In the middle of the night when I am asleep, she will sneak in and slip into my blanket. The first time might be unacceptable. But after the first, there will be a second. I will get used to it soon. Fine. I will reluctantly agree to your request. Su Jinghan steps back from me. Teasing is enough for now. Right now, her little brother is all wet. Go take a shower quickly. Remember to check the weather forecast in the future. Su Jinghan goes to pour me some hot water. She is feeling a bit annoyed now. Why does not she know how to brew ginger tea? Otherwise, she could have taken her little brother down directly. Actually, a glass of plain hot water is fine too. This is the first time in my life. Wait, I call out to her from behind. Because I remembered something. The rear of the car I saw in the rain just now was the same as the one Su Jinghan drove when she went to the school to find me that day. I did not pay attention to it at first, but seeing that Su Jinghan is back, I am even more certain it was hers. Is that red car yours? Su Jinghan is stunned. Oh no, I have been found out. Will my little brother settle the score with me? Su Jinghan lowers her head, carefully considering how to coax her little brother. Why drive so fast in the rain? What if something happened? Su Jinghan looks up at me in surprise. What she hears is not blame, nor questioning, but concern. I am soaking wet myself. Yet I am worried she will have an accident because she is driving too fast. What kind of angelic little brother is this? Do not you blame me? Sometimes, concern from the victim makes ON feel even more guilty. I open my mouth. That is right. Should not I be furious right now? She saw me and did not even give me a lift. She saw me and did not even give me a lift. But some things are better endured. Questioning only leads to conflict. And in the end, I am the one who gets hurt. Past experiences flood back. The world always bullies the weak and fears the strong. People start checking your background the moment they meet you. Either that or they make you kneel. Undoubtedly. I have always been the one kneeling. Su Jinghan clenches her fists, directing her guilt toward others. To think someone dared to bully her little brother. Do not let her find out who. Otherwise, coincidentally, Su Jinghan is always the one who makes others kneel. Su Jinghan takes a step forward and gently hugs me. It is okay. Your sister will protect you from now on. Heaven knows how much power those words have. So, is a sister a safe harbor for a little brother? I give a soft hum. I want to agree so badly, but I do not dare. Why would Su Jinghan protect someone who is neither kith nor kin? Proof shows that where there is no expectation, there is no disappointment. Sis? I am all wet. I gently push Su Jinghan away. By now, the front of her clothes has been dampened. Go take a shower quickly. I nod. I do need a hot shower. My clothes are sticking to me uncomfortably, but I suddenly stop in my tracks. I do not have any spare clothes to change into. I turn and look at Su Jinghan. How could a woman have men's clothing? I hope she does. So I have clothes to wear. But I also hope she does not. Why would she have men's clothing? Su Jinghan sees my predicament at a glance. Was not splashing me with water just to wait for this moment. She whispers. How about wearing mine? I am instantly stunned. A grown man like me has to cross-dress. If word of this got out, I would not even be able to stay in the Milky Way. I shake my head like a rattle. What are you afraid of? There is no one else in the house. Su Jinghan pulls me into her room. Su Jinghan is 1.8 meters tall. Her clothes won't be too small for me. But I never expected Su Jinghan would find me a white dress. Wearing a dress. Won't I really be seen as a pervert? But Su Jinghan has already closed the wardrobe. It is clear this is the only option. Either wear it or go naked. After an internal struggle, I finally give in. A dress, it is. Anyway, only Su Jinghan is here. It is better than appearing naked before her. Wait a minute. Su Jinghan stops me, then takes a pair of her panties out of the wardrobe. They even have lace edges. Do you want these? My head shakes like a helicopter rotor, ready to take flight at any moment. I run out without looking back. A dress is my absolute limit. I can't take any more than that. Besides, women's panties are a bit small. My little brother would be uncomfortable. Su Jinghan stands in front of the bathroom door. Little baby, use your sister's towel first. Your sister does not find you gross. With a wicked smile on her face, Su Jinghan realizes that my sudden flight actually did her a huge favor. There is nothing of mine in the rented apartment. Even the blanket I brought back is soaked. She has heard that boys shower very quickly. A matter of 2.5 minutes. Su Jinghan feels she needs to pick up the pace. She must finish before I come out. Otherwise tonight's great opportunity will be wasted. I stand under the shower, still debating how to wash. Then I hear Su Jinghan's voice from outside. I nearly lose my footing and slip in the bathroom. Maybe I will just use a little shampoo. I hesitantly open the glass door. It is just shampoo, after all. It should not count as being a pervert, right? Since I am already using the shampoo, why not use a little body wash too? There is no difference between the two, anyway. So I reach out a hand and bring the body wash inside. I wash very quickly. 2 lathers of shampoo, oane of body wash, and I turn off the water and come out. Now I face the biggest problem. There is only one towel in the bathroom, and it belongs to Su Jinghan. This is not very good, is it? Even though Su Jinghan said so just now, I can't actually be a pervert, can I? Maybe she was just being polite. Once I use it, I am finished. I wish I were a kitten or a puppy, so I could just shake my body a few times and be dry. Gritting my teeth, my perverted hand reaches for the towel. Whatever, let it be. I can't exactly put on clothes while I'm wet. The dress Su Jinghan gave me is a bit thin, and it is white. If it touches water, it will become see-through, showing exactly how capable I am. The towel carries Su Jinghan's scent. I can't help but sniff it for 2.5 extra seconds. I look around guiltily. Thank goodness no one saw. I will buy her a new towel tomorrow. As for this old towel I have used, no, that won't do. I can't. A hot shower washes away the chill from my body. I feel much better. I exercise regularly and have a good constitution. I probably won't catch a cold. I open the door and walk out. Fortunately, the dress is long and flowy enough that not wearing underwear is not too obvious. I just hope my little brother behaves. Do not get too excited when seeing Su Jinghan later and cause a bulge in the dress. I would really have no face left. Click. A flash goes off. I freeze in place and mechanically look up. Su Jinghan is sitting on the sofa, holding her phone, with a wicked smile on her lips. I am completely dumbfounded. Are you taking pictures? I sense something is wrong. But Su Jinghan puts down her phone as if nothing happened. No. I walk over. I do not believe you. Let me see your phone. Su Jinghan puts her hand behind her back, hiding the phone. No. You are not my boyfriend. Why should I let you check my phone? That may be true, but you took a secret photo of me. And you did it so blatantly with the sound and flash on, almost as if you were worried I would not notice. Seeing me in a dress is not a common occurrence. Su Jinghan finally found an opportunity. Of course she has to take a photo as a souvenir. Maybe she can use it to blackmail me later. If you do not sleep in your sister's bed, I will. This is too much. This involves my dignity. I absolutely cannot let this slide anymore. Otherwise my reputation is ruined. I step forward to snatch Su Jinghan's phone. How could Su Jinghan let me have my way? She holds the phone high up. I reach for it, And so, it turns into Su Jinghan lying on the sofa, Owen hand holding the phone up, the other hand pressing down on my shoulder. I have Owen hand braced against the sofa, while the other desperately tries to grab the phone. The posture is a bit ambiguous. Focused on the phone, I do not notice. This is exactly the effect Su Jinghan wanted. Little baby, you are exposing yourself. I look down and my old face flushes red. For a boy, the neckline of the dress is too large. Su Jinghan can easily see the view inside. Since I am going commando, my little brother is perfectly exposed to Su Jinghan's eyes. Not bad, little brother. You are quite well endowed. It seems, I can't call you little baby anymore. I should call you big baby. I scramble off Su Jinghan, only then realizing what a foolish thing I have done. How could I have climbed on top of Su Jinghan like that? I used to be such a calm and rational person. How did I make such a fool of myself in front of Su Jinghan? What must she think of me? I sit properly like a good boy, feeling incredibly uneasy.
Sisses.
I did not mean to be a pervert. Please do not be angry. In these matters, it is always the man's fault, no matter who you talk to. Su Jinghan, a billionaire cold female CEO. How could she do something so undignified? Su Jinghan's eyes are curved like crescents. Her little brother's flushed and pitiful look is just too adorable. She really wants to pull him into her arms and tease him mercilessly. But she knows she can't right now. If she does not comfort me soon, I might actually cry. She reaches out and puts her arm around me. But I have already seen it. You have to compensate your sister. What do you want? As long as it does not involve killing me, anything is fine. Of course, it is best if you do not have designs on the 10 million in my account either. But that bit of money is the only thing I have to show for myself. I have seen it all anyway. Why do not you just give in to your sister? Owen of Su Jinghan's hands lightly caresses my cheek, turning my face toward her. Her red lips are only a finger's width away. I can feel the air from Su Jinghan's breath entering my mouth. It is a bit sweet. I can't help but swallow hard. Am I worthy? In a daze, I ask what is on my mind. It feels as if anything that can be described as good will never be mine. It would never be my turn. I have long since stopped holding any expectations. Are you that lacking in confidence? Su Jinghan cradles my head, letting me lean on her shoulder. Everything about you is good. You are just too insecure. You are so handsome and cook so well. At 22, with just own novel, you have earned more money than most people will ever see in their entire lives. Why do you think so little of yourself? Su Jinghan gently patted my shoulder. You are already very outstanding. Just forget about the things in the past. It is time to welcome a new life. Although she had not investigated my specific experiences, she knew that after I turned 10, the orphanage director who raised me passed away. I had been surviving all alone ever since. The hardships were definitely far greater than Su Jinghan could imagine. Otherwise, I would not be this insecure. Cupping my face with both hands, Su Jinghan leaned in and kissed me. After a long moment, our lips parted, and she looked at me with deep affection. So, why do not you just give in to your sister now? I sat up straight. To think someone was actually lusting after my beauty, how unforgivable. But she had already seen my entire body. I am not pure anymore. I looked up at Su Jinghan. Then will you listen to me from now on? As a man, I must stand my ground. How can I let a woman lead me by the nose? In this house, if I say go east, no one can go west. I will. Su Jinghan nodded without hesitation. She would just agree for now. Once she fully has her little brother in her grasp, would not she be the one calling the shots anyway? Her little brother should just peacefully be a carefree little puppy. Then delete the photo you just took on your phone. Su Jinghan froze for a moment. She did not expect this side of her little brother. He looks so gentle and refined. Who would have thought he had such cunning thoughts? And he used all those little schemes on his sister. She waved her phone. You want me to delete the photo? I nodded. That thing is pure dark history. It absolutely cannot see the light of day. It could explode at any moment in the future. In order to continue living on this earth, it must be destroyed. Then you have to listen to me. That phrase sounded a bit familiar, like I had just heard it somewhere. I spaced out for a second, then nodded. I will listen. Absolutely. If sister says go east, I absolutely will not go west. Whatever. I will just fool Soo Jing-han into deleting the photo first. Okay. Be a good boy then. I am not deleting it. I was dumbfounded. Just as I was about to nod, I suddenly realized I would been played, and it was the exact same trick I had just used. No wonder it sounded so familiar. She literally stole my lines. Little brother is indeed the most obedient. Soo Jing-han suddenly stood up, kneeled on the sofa with own leg, and hugged my head from the side. So soft. I felt like something was about to burst out of my nose. And the most fatal part was, Soo Jing-han even rubbed against me while hugging me. Who could withstand this? As a hot-blooded 22-year-old guy, when had I ever experienced such a seductive scene? Looking at my dazed expression, Soo Jing-han smiled slightly. A brilliant little trick to handle her little brother. Can I not delete it? I gritted my teeth. Fine. If I do not agree soon, I am afraid I will literally die in this gentle embrace. You can only look at it yourself. You can't show it to anyone else. No own at all. Anyway, the way I look in this outfit has already been seen by Soo Jing-han. It is just a photo. In front of Soo Jing-han, I have long since lost the need to feel embarrassed. Soo Jing-han happily sat down beside me. Her little brother is hers. How could she possibly show him to anyone else? She wants him all to herself. When she gets back, she will create a new photo album, just for pictures of her little brother. Only she will know the password. Well, if her little brother wants to know, he can too. I sighed internally. Lost again. But it seems like I experienced some slightly naughty things. Not a bad trade-off. I feel like I am going to drown in Soo Jing-han's tenderness. I do have 10 million in my pocket. So I guess I count as a first-generation rich guy. Matching with an ordinary second-generation rich girl should be no problem. I think I can accept Soo Jing-han. I can afford to provide for her anyway. Get up. I am going to sleep. I pursed my lips and pushed Soo Jing-han up from the sofa. This person flirts and then runs. So irresponsible. After tossing and turning for so long, sleepiness gradually washed over me. It was almost 1 a.m. now. Soo Jing-han had to work tomorrow. I definitely did not want to be the reason. She could not wake up and ended up late. Watching a salary get deducted makes my heart ache. There was a blanket on the sofa. It should be Soo Jing-han's. She probably laid it out while I was taking a shower. Did not you say you were going to sleep in my bed? I rarely had the guts to tease Soo Jing-han. What a woman of contradictions. All talk and no action. I picked up the blanket and walked towards my room. The bed had a built-in mattress. Even without sheets, it was comfortable enough to sleep on. I will just make do for all night. Tonight has been full of confusing events. Your bed is wet. You can't sleep in it. Soo Jing-han followed behind me, looking at a mark that looked suspiciously like someone wet the bed. The corner of my mouth twitched. It was perfectly fine when I left this morning. If Soo Jing-han did not do this, then a ghost did. I sighed. It seems I am destined to sleep on the sofa. I lay down on the sofa, wrapping myself tightly in the blanket. I really did not want to wander around in a skirt anymore. Even though it was kind of comfortable, it was so embarrassing. Did you do that on purpose? Soo Jing-han admitted it openly. Yup. I hesitated, wanting to speak but stopping myself. So many swear words I could not bring myself to say. She was absolutely determined to make me sleep on the sofa. Wait, she made the bed wet. Should I make her sleep on the sofa? I glanced at Soo Jing-han. Forget it, let it be. This is fine. The corners of Soo Jing-han's lips curled up slightly. Steps 1 and 2 of her plan had been successful. Now for the final step, and the most important own. She gently held up a glass of water. Remember to hydrate after a shower. Drink this before you sleep. Hearing her say that, I actually did feel a bit thirsty. I was so focused on the photo that I forgot to drink water. And in the end, the photo was not even deleted. But what I did not expect was something even more infuriating was waiting for me. Holding the glass of water, Soo Jing-han tripped over her own feet and fell right into my arms. Honestly, this should have been a beautiful scene, no less romantic than the leads falling together in a TV drama, ending with the heroine pinned on the bed by the hero. The difference is, Su Jinghan still had a glass of water in her hand. The water spilled entirely onto the blanket and the sofa. Well, that is just great. Now the sofa is unsleepable too. Oh, and hand catching the glass. The other supporting Su Jinghan. I said, I am guessing you did that on purpose. I would be an idiot if I could not see through this. This woman wanted to trick me into her bed from the very beginning. That is why she poured a glass full to the brim. Such calculation. Ensuring both the blanket and the sofa got wet. Oh no. The one who can't handle this game is not Su Jinghan. It is me. Having been exposed, Su Jinghan stopped pretending. She laid her cards on the table. She stood up from the bed and crossed her arms. Since you know, then do not make your sister wait too long. Be a good boy and go inside. Of course, you can also choose to have your sister carry you in. Let us go. What else was there to say at this point? The moment I entered her room, I could not help but hold my breath a little. With my head down, my eyes could not help but dart around, afraid I might see something that would make me blush and my heart race. Seeing my sneaky behavior, Su Jinghan teased, "Are you expecting something?" I snapped my head up and waved my hands frantically. "No. You are spouting nonsense." Su Jinghan turned back and stepped in front of me, lightly tapping my chest with her index finger. "No." "Then how do you know what I am talking about? And what are you so nervous about?" Her stunning face drew closer and closer. My face flushed red, and I looked away. The awkwardness was so intense my toes could have dug out a whole apartment in the floorboards. Soon, this place will become a suite. A room within a room. I noticed that ever since she blocked the door this evening, Su Jinghan had become increasingly bold. But what exactly was I expecting? Not seeing what I wanted to see. I actually felt a tiny hint of disappointment. Nothing. There is nothing. My Adam's apple bobbed, my hands clutching the hem of my skirt. Su Jinghan's room was filled with a faint, fresh fragrance. Her delicate red lips were mere inches away. My heart could not settle down. Su Jinghan's eyes curved into crescents. She could not resist reaching out to pinch my bright red cheek. Her little brother really blushes way too easily. So adorable. She actually did not own many weird clothes. Just that time she went to Rongjin University to catch me. She unprecedentedly wore black sheer tights. She was a bit regretful too. If she had laid out some naughty lingerie, how would her easily embarrassed little brother react? Would he just flee in panic, or? Too bad she did not have any. She would not get to see that scene. Hooking her index finger into the collar of my skirt, Su Jinghan straightened up and pulled me toward her. "Sister is going to take a shower now. You wait for me in bed like a good boy. Hear me." Her tone was firm, leaving no room for argument. I realized that amid my fear, there was also a sliver of excitement. Could it be that I have masochistic tendencies? Wait! Seeing that I was about to lie down on the bed, Su Jinghan called out from behind. Hearing that, my body stiffened. The hand gripping the edge of the blanket froze in midair. Did she change her mind? Did my slow movements displease her? Is she going to throw me back onto the sofa to sleep? Without a blanket, I would definitely catch a cold tomorrow. Su Jinghan took out a nightgown from the closet. "I do not have extra pajamas here. The skirt you are wearing is not suitable for sleeping. It will get wrinkled." I looked at Su Jinghan's you-know-what-I-mean expression. This. I tugged at the skirt I was wearing. Does she want me to sleep naked? Although it is not impossible. But the thought of a gorgeous woman lying next to me. Nothing will happen when we wake up tomorrow, right? I am not sure. I am usually a well-behaved sleeper. But I can't be sure about Su Jinghan. Of course. If you want to wear it, I can let you have it. Su Jinghan handed the nightgown to me. The implication was, it is up to you. I do not mind either way. I subconsciously glanced at Su Jinghan's stunning figure. My mouth went dry. That would be incredibly tempting, would not it? My hand actually wanted to reach out and take the nightgown. I violently shook my head. No, absolutely not. If I let Su Jinghan sleep naked, would I even be able to keep my own clothes on? Things might get out of hand tomorrow. Some things just are not meant to happen right now. We have only known each other for 3 days. The infatuation phase has not even faded yet. If it were not for my own stupid mistake today, and Su Jinghan's scheming, I would never be sharing a bed with her. You wear it. Withdrawing my hand, I lifted the blanket and got into bed. Change your clothes. You go shower first. I promise I won't wear it. I was going commando under there, taking off my clothes in front of Su Jinghan. I am not that open-minded yet. Su Jinghan's shower was very quick today. The apartment did not have a bathtub anyway, and with a fragrant little brother waiting in bed, she was not in the mood for a long soak. She quickly washed her hair, applied body wash, and came out. The moment she saw me, Su Jinghan could not hold back a laugh. I had wrapped myself tightly in the blanket, with only my head poking out, like an oversized spring roll. Hearing the laugh, I opened my eyes. For a moment, I almost got a nosebleed. The nightgown Su Jingyan held earlier. Now that she was wearing it, I realized just how thin the fabric was. I could faintly see her skin underneath. They say a hazy beauty is the most seductive. I felt an urge rising within me. It would have been better if I had just worn it myself. It is a lose-lose situation, either way. Curse this roommate arrangement. I think I mentioned before, this is the only blanket we have. Do you want your sister to catch a cold? Leaning against the doorframe, Su Jinghan did not rush in. I did leave space for her, but I had hogged all the blanket. Well, I thought I had found a brilliant way to prevent any skin-to-skin contact. Turns out Su Jinghan was prepared for this move all along. I shifted my hips and very reluctantly relinquished half the blanket. I squeezed my eyes shut tightly. Asleep, do not disturb. Su Jingyan smiled. Little brother really is too prone to shyness. After a while, I still did not feel Su Jinghan get into bed. I could not help but feel puzzled. Could she be disgusted by me? I cracked an eye open. Su Jinghan had walked around the bed and was sitting at the vanity, taking out a hairdryer and leisurely drying her hair. Seeing me open my eyes in the mirror, she said, "Little baby, do you want to help your sister dry her hair? Girls taking showers is a hassle, and the most troublesome part is drying their hair. With Su Jinghan's thick locks, it would not dry in under half an hour. It frustrated her every time, but now that she had her little brother as a tool, she should not have to do it herself anymore, right?" I immediately squeezed my eyes shut again. I am asleep. I am not wearing anything right now. Getting up to blow dry Su Jinghan's hair. Just kill me now. I was even afraid she might sneakily take photos with her phone. I feel like this woman is totally capable of that. Talking in your sleep. Through the mirror, she saw my face turn red again, asking when she already knew the answer. Could not this woman just play dumb? I do not know how. It was true. I did not know how to blow dry hair. A quick towel rub and my hair was dry. I never even had the chance to turn on a hairdryer. Su Jinghan stopped talking and focused on drying her hair, not knowing how is good. At least it means he has never dried another woman's hair before. It does not matter if he does not know. Her little brother is very smart, and it is easy to learn. With just a little guidance, he will become her exclusive little helper. As for learning it and then drying other women's hair, he would not dare. I felt the bed sink beside me. Su Jinghan must have gotten in. The blanket on the other side was lifted. I kept my eyes shut tight, my breathing inexplicably stopping in that moment. It was as if I was afraid of something, or perhaps expecting something. Su Jingyan looked at me lying there obediently. She had finally tricked him into bed. If she did not do anything, would not tonight's effort be wasted? She reached out her demonic claws. I suddenly felt a cool breeze blow over me, and then, 800 words omitted here. The next morning, I continued to wear yesterday's skirt. When I picked it up, I did not feel as much resistance. I have already worn it anyway. I have already been seen anyway. Photos were even taken. Su Jinghan was washing up. I was in the kitchen making breakfast. It is already 8:30 a.m. Will she make it in time? Breakfast was placed on the table. Even though Su Jinghan had a car, I still did not want her to be late, because being late means getting scolded by the boss and causing trouble for the company, which would put her in a bad mood. Su Jinghan sat on the sofa, eating slowly and unhurriedly. It is fine. It is my own company. Even if she did not go at all today, there would be no problem. Anyway, going in every day was just to check if there were any issues with the general direction. The rest of the time was just sitting in the office, bored. It was fine before, but now she had a little husband at home. How could she possibly focus? Once again, it is a day of wanting to tie her little husband up and bring him to the company as a mascot. After the morning's intimacy, Su Jinghan did not want to go to the company at all. Her woman's intuition told her, "What do you think of me wearing this out?" Su Jinghan came out of the bedroom and did a twirl in front of me. They say women dress for those who please them. Naturally, Su Jinghan also wanted to hear her little husband's praise. However, I frowned slightly, pursed my lips, and said, "It is very pretty. Why do I feel like you are not happy?" Su Jinghan skipped over to me, a little bit upset. My words sounded so perfunctory. "No, I am not." I turned my head away. Every time I make eye contact with Su Jinghan for more than half a minute, I end up defeated. Su Jinghan turned my head back. Is it because the skirt is too short? I remained silent. The meaning was already very clear. Su Jinghan's outfit today was perfect in every way, except the skirt only covered half her thighs, revealing two long, dazzlingly white legs. I am just afraid you will catch a cold. The weather is unpredictable in early spring. You can't just go out with bare legs. The temperature outside is still very low. The wind will make you shiver. If Su Jinghan went out dressed like this, she would definitely be shivering from the cold. It is fine to love beauty, but you can't sacrifice warmth for fashion. Actually, you are beautiful even without wearing this. Little brother really is a little jealous pot. Su Jinghan pinched my cheeks with both hands, turned around, and went back to the room to change. She was not unhappy at all. This was not her usual style of dressing anyway. The reason she did it was to test me, because she knew, if a man does not try to control what you wear, it means he just wants to play around. If a woman does not get jealous over you, it means she does not love you. My reaction did not disappoint her. She changed into a modest pair of pants, flat shoes, and a white shirt. When she came out, she still stunned me. Clothes make the man, saddles make the horse. But there actually are people in this world whose beauty transcends any clothing. Su Jinghan expressed that she had already met such a person. Even a skirt can't seal away his good looks. Standing at the door, she held up her phone. I still do not have my boyfriend's contact info. I almost forgot again. I did not refuse. We added each other on every possible contact method. Can you go to work now? Look at the time. Su Jinghan stepped out the door satisfied, then suddenly turned back. She wrapped both arms around my neck and puckered her red lips. Give me a kiss, and I will leave. I was a bit speechless. Is this really a mature woman, who is older and taller than me? I granted her wish and gave her a kiss. It was not as long as the one we shared when we woke up. I patted Su Jinghan's back. Drive carefully on the way. It is okay if you are late. Do not be sad if your boss scolds you. This woman eats way too slowly, taking tiny bites and chewing slowly. It took her a full 20 minutes to finish. I was almost dying of anxiety watching her. And she dawdled while changing clothes too. It was already 8:50 a.m. when she left the door. She was definitely going to be late for her 9 a.m. start. I remember when I used to work, I would always leave the house way ahead of time. Usually, I would arrive at the workplace with 10 minutes to spare, and then work for the boss for free for 10 minutes. I had been late once or twice, by just 5 minutes, and got scolded terribly by a middle manager. So, I do not want Su Jinghan to suffer the same grievance. The 10 million in my pocket is enough to support her. Watching Su Jinghan leave, I originally wanted to walk her downstairs, but looking at the skirt I was wearing, never mind. Having a car is nice. Speaking of which, should not I go buy a car of my own too? I suddenly froze in place. Mentioning cars, I suddenly felt something was not quite right, but for a moment, I could not pinpoint exactly what it was. Su Jinghan did not head straight to the company. Instead, she returned to a Chinese-style villa. She asked the people inside, "Is it ready?" In the garage, Su Jinghan switched cars. Before heading to the company, she left her 20 million yuan red sports car, parked at the villa, and swapped it for a 200,000 yuan car. Being able to securely hold the position of Jingshan Group's CEO, her ability to read people was quite extraordinary. In just a few days, she had roughly figured me out. That was why she did not dare reveal her true identity to me. A sports car was too expensive and would expose her. Arriving at the company at a leisurely pace, she sat in the driver's seat in the parking garage, taking a moment to get into character. When she opened her eyes, her aura was as cold as frost. Stepping out of the car, she transformed back into the aloof female CEO. Some sides of her were strictly reserved for her little husband to see. An icy demeanor could also deter many annoyances, saving her a lot of trouble. For now, she could not let anyone at the company know of my existence either. Otherwise, word would eventually reach her family. The old folks were not a problem, but I get shy so easily. She could not afford to scare me. On her way in, everyone trembled slightly as they greeted Su Jinghan. It was a good thing I did not witness this scene, otherwise my jaw would have dropped. Was this really the same person demanding kisses at home? Su Jinghan sat in her office chair, looking at the still dark computer screen. She had no mood to work. She was already starting to miss home, wondering what I was doing, and if I was thinking about her too. However, after seeing Su Jinghan off, I sprinted to the bathroom and threw the clothes that got wet last night into the washing machine. Even though I had been wearing a skirt since last night, it did not mean I could tolerate it any longer. Washing and drying my clothes while wearing a skirt, and standing right in front of the act to blast them dry. Finally, more than 2 hours later, I put my own clothes back on. Holding the skirt, I was a bit troubled. Where should I put it? Ultimately, I decided to hang it in my bedroom closet. It is not that I had any weird thoughts. I just felt I needed to wash it before returning it to Su Jinghan. Right now, I had more important things to do. I hurried back to the other rented apartment, and the things I had just moved there yesterday, I bitterly dragged all the way back. I felt depressed. What kind of nonsense is this? Not only was it a waste of time and effort, I also lost a month's rent. I guess I sort of laid my cards on the table with Su Jinghan today. If I continued to live outside, what happened yesterday would just repeat itself. Su Jinghan is already so tired from work. I did not want to see her exhaust herself, going to bed at 1 or 2 a.m. every day, and not getting enough rest. Plus, the apartment I rented only has own bedroom. If we stayed there, Su Jinghan would definitely sleep in the same room as me. It is better to come back here, where we each have our own room. Who could have known Su Jinghan would pursue me so relentlessly, and find my exact location in such a short amount of time? I rested my chin on my hands, completely baffled. Just which bastard leaked my whereabouts to Su Jinghan? Based on my daily habits, I would never share such trivial details. It is even less likely that someone overheard it by chance. So Su Jinghan must have found out on her own. Could an ordinary second-generation rich kid really have that much power? But how could someone who affords a 10 or 20 million yuan car be ordinary? I finally realized what felt off. Once again, I found myself in a passive position in my relationship with Su Jinghan. I turned on my computer to finish today's writing quota. People with low self-esteem are especially prone to overthinking and mentally draining themselves over a single thing. I kept replaying it in my head over and over, tossing it back and forth pointlessly. I could not even get into the zone for writing, and had to hastily wrap up at 4,000 words. I sent a question to my group chat. Babies. If a young, beautiful, and rich girl suddenly starts chasing you, what should you watch out for? The group was filled with fans from my first novel. They were all fans of wish fulfillment stories. As soon as my sensitive question dropped, the chat instantly exploded. The group was super active, and I casually scrolled through for a while. No one took my words seriously. If you were really being kept by a sugar mommy, would you still be writing web novels? The earnings from my last book had long been exposed. I was practically a self-made newly rich guy myself. Why would I care about a sugar mommy? I did not actually expect to find an answer in the group, but I did notice what passerby D said. This bro had tipped me quite a few gifts. Judging by his tone, he sounded like someone with experience. What he said made sense too. I also felt Su Jinghan was a bit strange. I put my phone away and went downstairs to eat. For a moment, I thought about asking Su Jinghan if she wanted to grab lunch together, but then I thought about how troublesome the back and forth would be, and gave up on the idea. I am someone who is extremely terrified of inconveniencing others. Every time I ask for help, I agonize over it internally. It feels as if this own favor would cost them their life, even when it is clearly just lifting a finger for them. Since she slept late yesterday, I decided to let Su Jinghan get a good rest at noon. I grabbed a quick bite, and once 2 p.m. rolled around, I pulled up Su Jinghan's WeChat. Her profile picture was a white ragdoll cat. It was hard to imagine why a mature, elegant woman would use such an avatar. Her display name was even weirder. Xiao Mu's older sister. It definitely was not this name when I added her this morning. She absolutely just changed it. The implication was way too obvious. Should I change mine too? To sisters Xiao Mu. I shook my head vigorously. Why would I even have such a thought? I had truly fallen under that demoness's spell. Neither nickname contained Su Jinghan's actual name. Was this really okay? I wanted to slap myself. What do you want to eat tonight? Inside the office, Su Jinghan's phone rang. Su Jinghan, who was working, looked down. She was actually incredibly meticulous when she worked. She never slacked off. Yet today, unprecedentedly, she allowed herself to be distracted by her phone. Sisters Xiao Mu had sent a message. Anything is fine, as long as you make it. I looked at the reply, completely bewildered. How is this any different from saying whatever? The underlying meaning was to let me figure it out. I am not a picky eater. Su Jinghan sent another message. I asked for a dish name, not your eating habits. Frustrated, I ran to the supermarket and wandered around for a few laps. My decision paralysis kicked in. Tell me when you are almost home tonight. I will come downstairs to get you. I sent this message to Su Jinghan, hand-washed the skirt I had been wearing, and continued sitting at my computer to write. As it neared 5 p.m., Su Jinghan sent a message. I am almost home. I frowned slightly. Do people get off work this early nowadays? I remembered my summer jobs always started with 10-hour shifts. I grabbed my phone and went downstairs. I did not wait long. Before Su Jinghan returned, I stared at her car for a moment. It was definitely red. But something seemed a little different. I remembered it being a sports car. The Owen in front of me now was too standard. Could this car really be worth 10 million? I was not sure, so I looked closer. Did you change cars? Su Jinghan shook her head. No. How could your big sister have that many cars? Su Jinghan felt relieved internally. She had gone home in the afternoon to swap cars, and did not expect me to notice the difference so quickly. Good thing she was quick-witted. Otherwise, she really would not know how to explain it. Stop looking. I am hungry. Su Jinghan hooked her arm around my neck and led me home. She knew something was off just by looking at me, so she had to forcefully interrupt my thoughts. If I kept looking, her cover would actually be blown. Their relationship had just been established. Su Jinghan did not want problems to arise so soon. She wanted at least a little more time to nurture it, so it would be easier to explain later. In the kitchen, Su Jinghan was helping me out. Skin like smooth jade, hands like tender catkins. It was obvious she had never done a day of hard labor in her life. Was not someone like her just going to make a mess? I sighed slightly in my heart. I would better do it myself. I walked over and gently lifted Su Jinghan's jade-like hands. These hands were a work of art. They should not be in the kitchen. Do you like my hands? Su Jinghan turned her wrists and interlocked our fingers. I pushed Su Jinghan out of the kitchen. Of course, they are beautiful. That is why they do not belong in the kitchen. Su Jinghan leaned against the kitchen door. The first time their relationship had taken a step forward was because of a breakfast. I was standing right here watching you back then too. Your hands are very nice looking. They do not belong in the kitchen either. My hands were large, with long slender fingers, and distinct knuckles. Because I did manual labor often, they felt a bit rough, which ironically made them feel nice to touch. How is that the same? I have been cooking for over 10 years. I could not even remember when I first stepped into a kitchen. I only knew that Grandpa Dean was still around back then. I was not even as tall as the stove, and had to drag a small stool over just to awkwardly cook. Perhaps Grandpa was already sick by then. I suddenly felt a wave of sadness. I have not had many people in my life. There was only Owen. Grandpa was my everything. I miss him a little. Su Jing'an suddenly hugged me from behind. Are you annoyed that I am in the way? She said, patting me on the head. I glared at her. In this relationship, I was the boyfriend. How could I let this woman completely control me? But alas, I could not bring myself to resist. A glare was my absolute limit. You are the one who said that. It has nothing to do with me. Can you admit it? Impossible. The corners of Su Jinghan's mouth curled up slightly. The reason she patted my head was because in that split second, she felt a bit bad for me. Even though it was brief, she had sensed my shift in mood. Since you like my hands so much, tonight I will use them to do something naughty for you. Su Jinghan's red lips brushed against my earlobe, barely touching it. Her words were indescribably teasing. My face instantly turned beet red. What are you talking about? I do not understand. I am still a child. You do not understand. Did not you touch them all over yesterday? What kind of wild scandalous talk was this? When it came to dirty jokes, I was absolutely no match for Su Jinghan. I bowed in defeat. It was not that I did not understand these things. My skin was just too thin. I could not bring myself to say things like that at all. Mostly because it was so embarrassing. I let out a bitter laugh. You should not make jokes like that. I broke free from Su Jing'an's embrace. Go out first. I need to stir fry. Just think about it. If Su Jinghan pulled a stunt like that while I was chopping vegetables, it would not be a perk. It would be murder. My fingers would instantly bid me farewell. Su Jinghan did not bother me anymore. She leaned against the door, watching quietly. But what she had just said was the absolute truth. She already knew my size. So she definitely could not call me tiny baby anymore. The first two words were no longer appropriate. I just wonder, when would I get to figure out her depths? Without Su Jinghan's interference, cooking went much faster. Just as the dishes were served, a knock suddenly echoed from the door. Are you expecting friends? I looked at Su Jinghan. You did not say anything beforehand. And they are right on time for dinner. What if there is not enough food? I will just have to reluctantly eat a bit less. How could Su Jinghan possibly introduce her little boyfriend to her friends right now? If they really reached that stage, they would not be living in a rented apartment anymore. They would have already moved back into her grand villa. It is probably the door repairman. She had called a repairman today. She knew I had moved back in, and definitely would not sleep in the same bed with her. So she needed to fix the door she had broken first, and then slightly tamper with it again. The repairman worked very swiftly. He completely dismantled the entire door, and replaced it with a new one. Mister, why do not you stay for dinner before you go? Since it was dinner time, I was just being polite. Please do not actually stay. How could the repairman dare to? He left in a hurry, without even taking any payment. Hey, mister. I did not know if it was just an illusion, but I felt like this guy was somewhat terrified of Su Jinghan. The point is, you need to take your money. They run a small business. Of course he was afraid, since he agreed to help Su Jinghan tamper with the door. Aside from the money, he definitely knew who she was, the eternal iceberg CEO, with a man in her house. The implication was already obvious. If he had stayed for dinner, he probably would not live to see tomorrow's sun. Su Jinghan grabbed me as I tried to chase after him. I already paid him. Come eat. Would a billionaire CEO like me let a poor guy with only 10 million to his name pay? That little bit of money could just be his secret stash. Their private world for two could not be interrupted. I hid the doubts in my heart. You can't be distracted while eating. That is a massive disrespect to the food. I was wolfing down my rice. I have a certain eating habit. A habit that feels like a natural talent. 3 bites of dishes, 3 bites of rice. I was thoroughly enjoying myself. However, a pair of chopsticks suddenly appeared and made me pause. I looked up at Su Jinghan. She was actually picking up food for me. I instantly blushed. Those chopsticks had already been in her mouth. Does not that equal an indirect kiss? But then I suddenly realized, we had already kissed directly. More than once, in fact. Sure enough, I still had not adapted to having a girlfriend. Things were moving too fast between us. All right, you eat too. I raised my hand to stop Su Jinghan. This woman suddenly stopped eating, and just kept piling food onto my plate. I am on a diet. I am full. I looked at her with pure disbelief. It was not like I had never seen how much she could eat. She had not even taken 2 bites. How could she be full? If she was not eating along with me, I would have suspected my cooking skills had deteriorated. Nonsense. I frowned. I absolutely loathe it when girls talk about dieting. They are clearly so skinny that touching them is like touching bones. Yet they stubbornly insist they are fat. I heard that when you lose weight, you lose your boobs first. I took an open and blatant look. I am already her boyfriend, after all. I even felt them this morning. Su Jinghan puffed out her chest, showing off her assets. I can understand that you can't bear the thought of it. Are you obsessed with how they felt this morning? I smiled but said nothing. I was asleep, so I did not feel a single thing. What a massive loss. But what man does not like them big? Su Jinghan moved her chopsticks forward a bit. Eat this first. I leaned back. I won't. Su Jinghan gritted her teeth. Her little boyfriend was actually rejecting her. She moved the food closer to my mouth. You still have a choice. I can put it in my mouth and feed it to you. Her body moved into action, looking like she was about to sit on my lap. I quickly snatched it and ate it in one bite. I did not doubt for a second that this bold woman would pull a stunt like that. Now that I think about it, that scene would be pretty nice. But I could not handle it, unless she forced me. Su Jinghan picked up another piece. My head was full of question marks. Did not she say she was going to eat? Was she really trying to lose her boobs? No way. I absolutely could not let that happen. I started feeding Su Jinghan. The corners of Su Jinghan's mouth lifted. Her silly little boyfriend had finally fallen for her trap. She had been waiting a long time for his first attempt to feed her. She ate it in one bite without hesitation. And so, the nature of this meal completely changed. Their chopsticks no longer belonged to themselves. A meal that could have ended in 10 minutes. Stubbornly took the 2 of them half an hour to finish. We were finally done. I let out a long sigh of relief. It was too exhausting. It felt more tiring than running a marathon for an hour, clearing the table and washing the dishes. For the first time in my life, washing dishes felt relaxing. I dried my hands and went back to my own little room. Perhaps because it was a shared apartment, I always felt that my bedroom was my only true home. Only that tiny space could give me a sense of security. The moment I stepped inside, Su Jinghan grabbed my collar from behind. Take 100 steps after a meal, and you will live to 99. Want to go? I shook my head like a rattle drum. Heaven knows how much I loathe going for walks. In my opinion, going out requires a clear goal, whether it is the supermarket or a specific food stall. You just should not wander aimlessly on the streets. I always feel like there are countless eyes on me. I know that in reality, not that many people are paying attention to me, but I just can't help overthinking. And then I end up walking faster and faster. After eating a full meal, you should sleep. Lie in bed, find a novel you like, and read quietly. I had clearly overlooked an issue. When a woman asks a question, it might seem like she is asking on the surface. But in reality, she is just notifying me. The moment Su Jinghan said those words, my answer was already irrelevant. Let us go. Tugging on my collar, she yanked me over. Su Jinghan dragged me toward the door. I almost heard the sound of my shirt tearing. For the sake of this veteran shirt that had been with me for years, I could only yield to Su Jinghan's despotic power. It absolutely was not because I was not as strong as this woman. I patted her arm. Sis. Let go of me. I will go with you, all right. At home, I did not care whatever she did. As long as she did not do anything real, I was fine with this woman bullying me however she wanted. But stepping outside, I still needed some dignity. Not too much, just a little bit. Wait for me to change my clothes. Without putting on my battle gear, I always felt weird going out. At that moment, Su Jinghan linked her arm through mine, forcefully dragging me out the door. The outfit you are wearing right now is perfectly fine. You can't dress like that anymore. You are so handsome. Of course, you should proudly show it off. I truly could not appreciate Su Jinghan's concept of battle gear. I said, if it was to cover up scars, I could understand. My little brother is so handsome. If you cover yourself up, how can anyone look at you? Do you know how cool it is to take a handsome boyfriend out? For a walk. Are not you afraid someone will confess to me on the street? I am not a narcissist. But this world is ultimately ruled by superficiality. If a guy is very handsome, there really will be a lot of people confessing to him. Back in school, every time I walked on campus, I would encounter it. Even on the day Su Jing'an came to find me, she saw it happen. Rejecting someone is genuinely a painful thing to do. Those girls always felt that I looked down on them, and their self-esteem would take a hit. I did not date for 4 years. And rumors even spread around school that I was arrogant just because of my looks. I swear to God, I was just terrified of being confessed to. In that moment, I felt even worse than the person confessing. Subconsciously, I would just reject them outright. Even a few campus belles from Rongjian University had been rejected by me. I regret it, but I can't turn back time. Asking me to actively approach a girl and talk to her would practically kill me. Plus, thinking about how expensive dating is, I chickened out. I did not even have enough money for myself. By the time I actually started making money, I realized I had mercilessly severed all my romantic prospects. And thus, a handsome guy remained single until now, only to fall cheaply into Su Jing'an's lap. Do you have a destination in mind? I honestly did not care either way. Having someone by my side made things a little less awkward. Su Jing'an thought for a moment. I need to buy a few things. In truth, she did not have a destination either. She just wanted to go for a walk with me, stroll arm in arm, and enjoy our time together. At the same time, she also wanted to parade her boyfriend around, to tell the world that this handsome man was hers, and then she could take him home. But she suddenly thought of something fun. A little brother who gets embarrassed so easily. How would he react later? She was looking forward to it a little. After walking for 10 minutes, I suddenly stopped to use the restroom. Did not you just use the restroom right before we left? Why do you need to go again? Su Jing'an was puzzled. I did not see you drink that much water either. It has only been 10 minutes. Is not that a bit too frequent? Her pupils suddenly dilated, and she leaned into my ear, whispering, "You do not happen to have bad kidneys, do you? That is not good. This concerns our future happiness in life. If there is really an issue, get it treated quickly. You can't let it get worse." What are you saying? When it came to this kind of thing, I absolutely was not insecure. How could a man's dignity allow others to slander him? I cracked a rare dirty joke. My kidneys are fantastic. So good they could keep you from getting out of bed. Truly. Su Jing'an did not believe it. Of course. Let us try it tonight. Is not tonight moving a bit too fast? We have not even gotten our parents' approval yet. Can we really go that far? I still have to work tomorrow. Asking for leave docks a lot of pay. But I must declare, there is absolutely nothing wrong with my kidneys. Let me emphasize it again. It is rare to find such a beautiful older sister. If she runs away over this little misunderstanding, I would cry myself to death. Yes, I am also someone who cares about looks. Needing to use the bathroom after only 10 minutes. And you still say there is no problem. Su Jing'an did not believe me at all. She only believed what she saw. Actually, I was slightly embarrassed. It is fine. Little brother, just get it treated. Su Jing'an was very magnanimous. She waved her hand. She only had this own little brother, so she had to spoil him. I said there is no problem. I got anxious, my voice raising a few pitches. It drew the gazes of the people around us. Lowering my head in embarrassment, I whispered, "Actually, I do not need to use the restroom that badly." Then why go at all? The restroom is right there. I might as well just use it. Should not using the restroom be because you want to use it? What does it have to do with where the restroom is? Do you suddenly get the urge just because there is a restroom nearby? Can it really be controlled so casually? There is a saying, since we are already here. I did not know that public restrooms are pitifully scarce nowadays. If you come across one, you might as well use it. Who cares if you really need to or not? I let go of Su Jing'an's arm. And whoosh, I darted inside. Since the option was already in front of me, why overthink it? Using the restroom would not take that long anyway. Unless the restroom charged a fee. Then I would not need it. Su Jing'an stood waiting in front of the restroom. Seeing that I still had not come out. Could this man really have weak kidneys? He has been in there for so long. Should I go in and fish him out? Although going into the men's room would be social suicide. But for the sake of her little brother. Whatever, so be it. Handsome, are you single? I turned my head. Two girls were standing next to me, arm in arm. Their eyes were practically sparkling with little stars. When had they ever seen such a handsome guy? Could this be a match made in heaven bestowed upon them? I was not too surprised. This kind of thing had happened many times before. These two girls looked like they were still students. Rongjin University was not far. But students rarely came to the residential areas. Could these two still be high schoolers? Can we add you on WeChat? The girl waved her phone. I had been targeted by them the moment I came out of the restroom. They had hesitated for a long time, but ultimately succumbed to my good looks. I gently shook my head, facing this attempt to hit on me. For some reason, my heart felt completely tranquil. Was it because the two girls were not pretty? No, they were solid 8s or 9s. But compared to Su Jinghan, they paled into insignificance. I realized that I had actually thought of Su Jinghan in this instant. I really was treating this woman as my girlfriend. I looked toward the restroom, turned my head, and said to the two girls, "Have you seen the girlfriend summoning jutsu on TikTok?" I had scrolled past those videos more than once. Whether they were originals or trend followers, as long as you stand next to another girl for a few seconds, your girlfriend, who had vanished into the crowd, would instantly appear. I suddenly wanted to see it for myself. A hand looped around my arm. "Sorry, he has a girlfriend." Su Jinghan had returned. She affectionately held my arm, smiling at the two little girls confessing to me. Her little brother really did not lie to her. There really were a lot of people confessing to him. Could she be outshone by these two little brats? Absolutely impossible. The two girls were already stunned. In this world, were there really such a gorgeous man and woman? When we stood arm in arm in front of them, they already had the answer in their hearts. This was undeniably a match made in heaven. It would be a sin for anyone to tear us apart. They also understood what I had meant earlier. Exactly, how could such a handsome guy be left unattached on the market? And yet, I had been unattached for 4 years, remaining single purely on my own merit. If Su Jinghan had not become my roommate, and used a little trick to coax me into bed, the paper window between us might still not have been pierced. From now on, when you go out alone, you must dress like before. Su Jinghan kind of liked my original getup now. Are you happy being hit on? Su Jinghan's voice carried a hint of jealousy. In just that short amount of time, her little brother was almost snatched away. She even felt like I was anticipating it. I could understand. My social anxiety made me reluctant to interact too much, because I could always so easily detect other people's emotions. Of course, if my boyfriend gets confessed to, how could I not be jealous? You looked like you were really looking forward to it just now. Su Jinghan clenched her fists, killing intent hidden in her eyes. It was as if, without a reasonable explanation, I would lose my life right here on the street today. I was suddenly a bit curious. What would this woman do? If it is really what you think, what would you do to me? I would tie you up, lock you in a small room, and step on you fiercely. Su Jinghan's voice was very soft. She whispered it right by my ear, but I could not detect even a hint of a joke in it. Even Su Jinghan's expression was telling me she was not joking. I laughed awkwardly, reaching my hand out to her. This woman was indeed a violent maniac. She was so strong. I wondered if I would even be able to break free when the time came. I was just joking. How could I be that kind of person? Then what were you looking forward to? Asking for trouble all day long. I raised 3 fingers. I swear I really did not agree to their request. With my looks, if I accepted confessions, I would not have been single for so long. How would you even have had a chance? I looked at her smugly. Your bro is just that excellent. However, Su Jinghan silenced me with a single look. She was genuinely a little angry. Little brother, actually daring to flaunt those glorious histories in front of her. Are you still thinking about those other girls out there? Unforgivable. Tie him up and lock him away. Sis, listen to me explain. I was genuinely panicking now. My future family status was already perfectly reflected in this moment. Have you heard of the girlfriend summoning jutsu? Su Jinghan was a bit confused. As the CEO of a company, she was dizzy with busyness. Where would she find the time to scroll through short videos? She had absolutely no idea about the buzzwords that mysteriously blew up on the internet for a while and then faded away. It is when a guy stands next to the opposite sex for more than 5 seconds, or disappears out of sight into a crowd. His girlfriend will suddenly appear. It perfectly mirrored what had just happened to me. The only difference was, in the videos, the men get their ears pulled, whereas my arm was held by Su Jinghan. Looking at it this way, my status was a bit higher. Su Jinghan's eyes curved into crescents, brimming with smiles. She believed her little brother now. He actually looked forward to such a trivial thing. She suddenly realized. Her little brother was so childish, like a little kid who had not grown up yet. Being happy over such small things, I blinked my eyes. Is not it worth looking forward to? Seeing my girlfriend appear like this, does not it show she cares about her boyfriend? Is not that something worth being happy about? Being jealous. Is not that because someone holds you in their heart? Is not this the most joyful thing in the world? Ever since Grandpa passed away, I had not felt this kind of care again. That is why I anticipated it. That is why I was curious. Su Jingyan realized in an instant. It was not that her little brother was too childish, but rather, her years in the business world had already ground away her own innocence. After I put it that way, it seemed to make sense. What about me? I hold you in my heart. Do you hold me in yours? Being asked for your contact by 2 girls to your face, and acting so happy about it, shows you really do not have your girlfriend in your heart. Hey, of course I do. I nodded heavily. I did not even take out my phone. I never even considered agreeing to it. All right, let me tell you a secret. The only thing I said to them was, have you heard of the girlfriend summoning jutsu? Fine. I will let you pass this time. I won't lock you in the small room. Su Jinghan was very happy. In today's society, being able to find someone you like, who also likes you back, is truly not easy. Although she could really tie me up and take me home. But who would not want to win their handsome little brother's heart? By the way, where did you just pop out from? I did not even see her when I turned my head. She appeared in less than 2 seconds. I still remembered how terrifying Su Jinghan's speed was. Usain Bolt would not even be fit to be her opponent. Did not you just say it? I was summoned by you. We walked aimlessly. I found myself falling in love with this feeling. Falling in love with the person keeping me company. It turns out strolling is not too boring. It is just that I did not have anyone with me before. I forgot to ask her. Where does she work? Only at this moment did I realize I knew nothing about Su Jinghan. Today, for some inexplicable reason, I wanted to know everything about her. Su Jinghan pursed her lips, not knowing how to say it. Actually interacting over these past few days, plus her understanding from various aspects, she knew I was someone with a deep inferiority complex. So insecure that when I found out her true status, my first reaction would be fear. Fear that would make me start to run away and distance myself from her. Are you going to pick me up from work? Su Jinghan knew. She could not put off letting him pick her up for too long. I had not thought about that. My life had been very independent. Independent to the point of not relying on anyone. Therefore, I subconsciously projected this independence onto everyone else. She used to get off work by herself in the past, so she could do the same in the future. But she was my girlfriend now. I often read in those romance novels, boyfriends driving to pick up and drop off their girlfriends. And it just so happened that I had plenty of time. Sure, from now on, I will pick you up every day. Such a beautiful girlfriend. What if it rains all day? And a colleague snatches her away with an umbrella. She seemed to drive herself. Whatever, it does not matter. It is a very simple thing. I am too lazy to think that much. As long as Su Jinghan allows me to go, that is fine. I work at Jingshan Group, Su Jinghan said. Yet she did not say everything. The CEO of Jingshan Group naturally also works at Jingshan Group. Taking it step by step, he would slowly be able to accept it. That is amazing. I praised her subconsciously, studying at Rongjin University for 4 years. Even if I never left my room, I had still heard that Jingshan Group was a top enterprise in Rongjin. It was ranked highly nationwide. I have a friend who works at your company. According to him, his position is not low. If you run into trouble at the company, you can tell me, and I will ask him for help. I do not understand the office politics in big companies. Anyway, when I used to work, there were always some annoying people. They would not work seriously and just had a big mouth to gossip. Sometimes I really wanted to punch them, but helplessly, I could only endure it. Big companies probably have these kinds of people too. And the scheming against each other is probably even more complicated. That is how novels write it anyway. Su Jing'an smiled faintly. It was nice enough that her little brother had this intention. For someone with social anxiety, asking others for help practically costs them half their life. Yet he was actually able to promise her this. It is enough that you have the intention. I am very popular at the company. She did not even believe those words herself as she said them. The aloof female CEO. Others were usually terrified when they saw her, let alone making friends. The people she could exchange a few words with in the entire company were just her few trusted confidants. But she was the CEO of Jingshan Group. Who would be so bored as to look for trouble with her? She suddenly had an urge, wanting to step down from her CEO position, become a low-level clerk, and wait for me to stand up for her. She quickly tossed the ridiculous thought out of her head. She could not possibly abandon the company she had worked so hard to get on track. Nor could she bear to see me suffer. I would not be happy. As for my friend, Su Jing'an did not ask. I could never have imagined that the friend I mentioned had only just entered the company today. And it was personally arranged by Su Jing'an. By the way, did not you want to buy something? I want to go home. I only just remembered. Su Jing'an had a purpose for going out. This woman did not even remind me. I almost forgot. Of course Su Jing'an would not forget. She had been leading the way all along, just to lure me here, pointing not far away, right there. Following the direction of Su Jing'an's finger, I saw a women's supplies store. I sharply lowered my head. You meant coming here. Walking on the street, I would not even dare to lift my eyes to look at this kind of store, always afraid of the labels people might stick on me. Su Jing'an did not say a word. She pulled me into the store. The moment we entered, I felt the air go completely silent. I vaguely sensed several gazes landing on me. I sneaked a glance. I was actually the only man in the store. It seemed normal, being in a place like this for the first time. How much I wanted to look up and take a glance. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but I did not have the guts. How about I wait for you at the door? My voice was as quiet as a mosquito. Su Jing'an did not answer. She just firmly dragged me further inside. Stopping in front of a shelf, I brought you here to get familiar with it in advance. Maybe next time you will have to come out alone to buy them for me. The shelf was stocked with sanitary pads. I was a little shy, but I forced myself to keep looking, mainly observing which types Su Jing'an picked. Right now, in the vast universe, my girlfriend was the most important. Su Jing'an selected a lot, tossing them all to me. This was also the first time I learned that these things actually had so many classifications, corresponding to various uses. As someone with social anxiety, would I dare to come here alone? Bringing me here was to prepare for emergencies. What if it was really needed on day? Su Jing'an did not want me to suffer too much. If I had to pace back and forth at the door for ages before entering, it is better to just buy more and keep them as backups at home. She was not that demanding. I nodded. Su Jing'an and I drew a lot of attention the moment we walked in. The clerks and customers were all looking at us. Not just because of our looks, but even more so because I was a man. Who knew if it was something he would do? Hearing Su Jing'an's words made them even more curious. Buying sanitary pads for a girlfriend. It was not a novel topic either. Many men had done it, but seeing it in real life still incited curiosity. Would a socially anxious person really dare to come to a place like this? Seeing Su Jing'an's disbelieving eyes, I was a little speechless. Do you have a misunderstanding about social anxiety? Theoretically speaking, socially anxious people do not easily get socially embarrassed. I am just afraid of interacting with others, because they have a strong psychological capacity for solitude. Therefore, most of the time, I am unwilling to. I do not actually care about other people's opinions. Coming into the store is not an issue just because I am a man. I have a goal. To buy sanitary pads for my girlfriend. Grab them, pay, and I can leave. If you make me stroll around aimlessly inside, I would probably try to find a hole in the ground to hide in. With a goal in sight, I would not care about how others look at me. This is also why, without a destination, I am unwilling to go out. Are you just saying sweet things to make me happy? I shot her a look. Do I look like someone that bored to you? It is originally a very normal physiological phenomenon anyway. Why should anyone feel embarrassed about it? I have never understood it. Those who show disgust towards these things between men and women, or curiosity, what kind of mindset do they have? It is a normal thing. Just look at it with a normal mindset. Would not that be enough? Su Jinghan's eyes curved in a smile. Sure enough, having a reliable boyfriend was a blissful thing, even if I did not care about it. The fact that I actually did it held a completely different significance. Is this all? I was already holding several packs. They were all different types. Su Jinghan nodded. Today was just about bringing me to get familiarized. She was very satisfied with the result. As we were leaving, Su Jinghan casually held up a piece of lingerie in front of my eyes. You performed well today. I will give you a little reward. I will wear it tonight. My face instantly turned red. Lowering my head. This thing was a bit too embarrassing. Translucent. Faintly discernible. It instead carried a temptation that made me want to explore it thoroughly. Do you still wear it when sleeping at night? Such a stereotypical straight guy thought popped into my head. I heard it is uncomfortable for girls to wear it to sleep. So, how would I even see it at night? Su Jinghan suddenly did not want to talk to me. Could not you just look at it before we sleep? Coincidentally, on the way home after our errands, I received a phone call. It was from Zhao Feng, even though we were roommates. To be honest, this was our first time actually talking on the phone. Most of the time, we just texted. For a socially anxious person like me, if I can send text, I will never send voice messages. If I can send voice messages, I will never video call. If I can video call, I will never meet in person. Hello, old Zhao. I did not keep you waiting too long, did I? Even though I was not very willing to answer. But after all, he was a brother from the same dorm. Years of friendship were right there. If it was something that required a phone call, it could not be a trivial matter. Dear, who is it? Su Jinghan stood beside me. With own glance, she saw Zhao Feng's name. Is it the friend you just mentioned? As Su Jinghan's voice rang out. On the other end of the line, Zhao Feng's body trembled, recalling the time he went to report to Jingshan Group, and the warning Su Jinghan gave him. He suddenly felt like his little life was forfeit. Back at home, Zhao Feng thought it over and over. After all this time, he still felt he had to help his bro escape the sea of misery. And so, he made this phone call. He originally thought that since it was so late, a homebody like me would definitely be alone. He did not expect to run right into Su Jinghan. Hello, old Zhao. What is up? Say something. Listening to the silence on the other end, I knew something was wrong. I just did not know if it was serious, or if I could help solve it. Forget it. I will just do my best. My bro already called me, after all. Zhao Feng hesitated. It did not quite sound like Su Jinghan's voice either. He remembered her voice being much colder. You got a girlfriend, kid? He clearly heard someone call out. Dear. In his heart, he was both scared and anticipatory. If it really was Su Jinghan, he figured that woman would be trouble for him. But thinking about his bro managing to score such an iceberg beauty, his sense of pride went through the roof. Well then, he was Musing's second brother, after all. When the time came, would not Su Jinghan have to call him second brother too? Of course, he only dared to think about it now. If they met in person, he would not even dare to squeak. We just got together a few days ago. Since Zhao Feng asked so sincerely, I mercifully decided to tell him. Su Jinghan's figure, aura, and looks were top tier. There was no way she was not presentable. Zhao Feng wanted to ask for her name, but felt it might be presumptuous. You should not mess with a friend's wife. Would not that be crossing the line? However, a message from Su Jinghan had already arrived. Be smart about it, otherwise, I won't let you off. The threatening tone was unmistakable. Are you still there? Just how big of an issue was this? For him to be stammering like this. I could not help but start to worry. I originally wanted to ask you out to hang out. Who knew you had a girlfriend now? Next time, then. It is rare for you to not be single. Cherish it well. Zhao Feng hurriedly hung up the phone. Bro, it is not that your older brother is a coward. It is that this woman is too terrifying. My head would be twisted off and kicked like a ball by her. Cherish it well. Cherish every remaining day. Zhao Feng figured Su Jinghan probably had not told me her true identity. Otherwise, she would not have made him keep it a secret. He suddenly felt like he had discovered a shocking piece of gossip. The iceberg female CEO, hiding her identity just to get close to a man. And her voice was so gentle. My God, Zhao Feng could not even imagine it. Did not that mean Mu Xin had already conquered her? The aloof, high-altitude flower had been plucked. If word of this got out, would not it cause a sensation across all of Rongjin? Zhao Feng felt happy in his heart. This way, he would not have to listen to his dad nagging in his ear anymore. And he could go look for other women. He could not help but laugh out loud. No, he still needed to confirm it. He dialed his own sister's number. I stared at the suddenly disconnected call. He did not get kidnapped, right? Can rich second-generation kids also get scammed out of the house? He did not get his organs harvested, did he? Let us go. Su Jingyan hooked my arm and dragged me upstairs. She had an illusion that in the next second, I was going to rush out to find Zhao Feng. To prevent Zhao Feng from being beaten by his dad, she had to pull her little brother away. Do not worry. He is fine. Seeing my worried look, Su Jinghan wanted to beat Zhao Feng up even more. If everything was fine, why did he call? I blinked. You know him. Su Jinghan nodded. She did not really want to talk about Zhao Feng. She only focused on me. She gave me a push. Hurry up and take a shower. Before we knew it, it was already 10 p.m. Thinking back to lying in bed last night, would not we want to be affectionate for a while? In the blink of an eye, it would be 12 a.m. Just the right time to sleep. Seeing my hesitant look, Su Jinghan asked, Do you want me to keep you company? She stood up and tried to pull me toward the bathroom with her. This kind of thing, of course I would not refuse. But I was so scared I hurriedly ran back to my room, muttering in my heart, if I actually agreed, who knows what would happen? Doing the deed would be the bare minimum. Tomorrow, one of us definitely would not be able to get out of bed. I was absent-minded while showering. I kept feeling that Su Jinghan was a bit strange. Not that her personality was strange, but the whole person was too mysterious. I felt it was necessary to speed up and find out more about Su Jinghan's identity. I quickly finished showering and went back to my room. I put on my headphones and started a writing session, taking advantage of the fact that I was not too sleepy yet. I would write 2 chapters first. The feeling slowly returned. I was getting into the zone. In 40 minutes, I finished 2,000 words. I felt slightly exhausted. Sitting for a long time made various parts of my body ache. I stretched to relieve the fatigue. But the moment I raised my hand, it suddenly bumped into something soft. I jerked my head back. Only then did I realize that I had no idea. When Su Jinghan had started standing behind me, I took off my headphones, stood up, and looked at Su Jinghan in a panic. Did I just touch somewhere I should not have? Su Jinghan puffed out her chest. You hit me so hard it hurts. Do you want to rub it for me? My sudden movement just now had startled her. That completely unprompted moment also sent a shock of electricity through her entire body. I coughed twice, lowered my head, and put my hands behind my back. I was pondering in my heart, could I actually agree to that? Would not she hammer me to death? At this moment, she was only wearing what we had just bought. It was translucent. I wanted to look but did not dare to. I was about to get a nosebleed. My face turned red. When did you come in? Having just showered, Su Jinghan's skin was rosy and flushed. Her outfit was rather revealing. Every part of her was tempting me to commit a crime. Su Jingyan smiled. I have been here for a while. You were too focused on writing your novel, so you did not notice. She originally wanted to cover my eyes, or suddenly hug me from behind. But seeing how focused I was, she could not bear to disturb me. So she just stood behind me and waited. She slowly stepped forward and took my hand. Do not you like it? But I saw you looking at it several times in the store. My face reddened even more. My mind was churning. I thought I had hidden it so well. How did I get caught? I nodded. Of course I like it. I did not want to say things contrary to my heart. My little brother was already prepared to break down the door. It was just one step away. How did you get in? I asked. Su Jing'an sounded aggrieved. Did not you remember closing the door yourself? How could I get in without the password? Your big sister has been freezing for a long time. Are not you going to hug your big sister? She pulled me over to hug her. The AC in the room was not set very high. Wearing so little made it a bit cold. As expected, it was warmest in her little brother's arms. I complained internally. It was not like I told you to dress like this. I picked up the remote and raised the AC temperature. I hugged Su Jinghan tightly. Her body was indeed a bit cold. I should warm her up first. I swear I absolutely was not trying to take advantage of her. Su Jinghan's red lips moved to my ear. I used a little trick on the door. From now on, I know all the passwords to your room. The corner of my mouth twitched. I silently cursed in my heart. I knew it. Why would Su Jinghan be so kind as to fix my door? I thought she had found her conscience and was making up for her mistake. Turns out she had an ulterior motive. I laughed. I bet if I change the password right now and tell you not to peek, you would not listen, right? Su Jinghan wrapped her arms around my neck and kissed me hard. My little brother really is not obedient at all. I already said, the password to your room has reached this point, and you still won't give in. I also had no way of dealing with this domineering woman. Do not worry. I won't change it. I also felt there was no need. The most valuable thing in this room was just myself. Worst case, she sneaks in and takes me. It does not matter. I would not be the one losing out. I patted her back. Hurry up and put some clothes on. Be careful not to catch a cold. I had not set the AC temperature that high. I did it on purpose. I could not let this woman get too comfortable. Otherwise, if she stayed in front of me like this, I was afraid I would not be able to control myself. Su Jing'an's eyes held a sense of superiority. In her heart, she was probably thinking, even looking like this, her little brother was actually able to maintain his self-control. There was still a long way to go. Changing clothes was a must. Su Jing'an still wanted to tease me. She pulled me back to her room and sat me down in front of the vanity. Help your big sister dry her hair. She had this idea yesterday. It is a pity her little brother was too reserved. I held the hairdryer. I do not know how. I touched my own pitifully short hair. I only cut it short because I hated the hassle. I did not expect I still would not be able to escape it in the end. Su Jing'an's hair quality was excellent. It was soft and easily slipped right through my fingers. It felt quite comfortable. I finally understood why guys back in school liked sitting in the back and playing with girls' hair. I was starting to like this feeling too. My nose twitched slightly. I smelled the fresh scent of her shampoo. It smelled really good. Su Jing'an looked at me in the mirror. They say a serious man is the most handsome. His already handsome face, carefully tending to her hair. Su Jinghan fell even deeper. But what was unromantic was, even though she was dressed so sexily, I did not even take a single glance. Although his moral character was very upright, did he have to be this upright with her? It really was not necessary. It completely wasted this outfit. Su Jinghan called out to me softly. She still needed to work hard on Xiao Xingxing. She had never been this humble before. It had always been men desperately trying to win her favor. A little temper flared in her heart. She would have to properly train this blockhead in the future. I looked up. What is wrong? I instantly froze in place. I could not help but swallow hard. From this angle, the fullness of her chest was in full view. All that was left in front of my eyes was a snowy white glow, and two faintly discernible cherries. I instantly felt my mouth go dry. This beautiful scenery seemed to have a massive magnetic pull. I could not tear my eyes away no matter how hard I tried. I lowered my head, continuing my movements. Is something wrong, sis? But my gaze kept drifting subtly toward that beautiful scenery. Su Jinghan secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Thankfully her little brother was a normal man. She did not want to finally meet someone who made her heart flutter, only to find out he was gay. However, My current look of wanting to stare, but not daring to, was really adorable. Few men could resist such temptation. Just now, I had not been thinking in this direction at all. It was my first time drying my older sister's hair. I did not want any accidents to happen. Su Jing'an's outfit made me discover a whole new world. I could no longer erase it from my mind. She did it on purpose. This woman absolutely called me on purpose. Su Jinghan was not repulsed by my gaze at all. On the contrary, she could not wait to hear a compliment. Does it look good? A boyfriend's compliment is the greatest compliment of all. I turned off the hairdryer. Shook out her beautiful hair a few times. It does not look good. I turned and walked away. As I reached the door, I did not forget to add, remember to change your clothes. It was too torturous. Such endurance was agonizing. But I was afraid to take the final step. From childhood to adulthood, I only ever received my grandpa's approval. Facing Su Jinghan's parents, I felt a deep fear. How was I worthy to stand in front of them? How was I worthy of such a beautiful Su Jinghan? Su Jinghan sat in front of the mirror, pouting. Where was her aloof, mature CAO persona? She looked completely like a smitten young girl. Her plan to seduce her little brother had failed yet again. When I left the room, my trembling hands and the final sound of the door closing showed that I must have been suffering immensely inside. She decided to let me off the hook for now, but her patience was running thin. Since when did she ever have to chase someone like this? Right now, she just wanted to lay all her cards on the table, tell me her true identity, and then, regardless of everything, just tie me up and take me home. It is a pity her little brother's personality was a bit stubborn. Would he rather die than submit when the time came? I left her bedroom and quickly ran back to my room. I heavily shut the door. Leaning against it, panting heavily, I finally escaped that terrifying succubus den. I forcefully chugged several large glasses of water, trying hard to calm my racing heart. I could not focus on writing my novel anymore. Let us just sleep. But lying in bed, I tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. This is the time when it is easiest for thoughts to run wild. As soon as I closed my eyes, those erotic images would appear in my mind, refusing to fade away. The bedroom door was opened. Su Jing'an had changed into a set of pajamas. She dove straight onto me. If I do not hug Xiao Xingxing, your big sister can't sleep. Her voice sounded very aggrieved. But was not I the most aggrieved one here? My inner fire had not even gone down yet, and the person who ignited it was back. I just wanted to howl up at the sky. If I hug you, I won't be able to sleep. Come on. I won't resist. I was panting heavily. I got up, picked Su Jinghan up, pinned her under me, and fiercely kissed her. I could not hold it in anymore. If I held it in any longer, I was going to explode. But then I suddenly moved my hands away. I pushed myself up, staring at Su Jinghan with red eyes in the dark, muttering in my heart, no, now is not the time. I got up and ran out of the room, ran straight to the bathroom. Su Jinghan raised her hand, wanting to stop me. What kind of nonsense was this? She was just starting to get into the mood, and he just left like that. So annoying. She sat on the bed, looking resentfully at my back. She grabbed a pillow and smashed it fiercely against the bed. It was hard to relieve the frustration in her heart. I washed my face with cold water. I finally calmed down. I became increasingly eager to gain Su Jinghan's parents' approval. Even if they did not approve now, I had to put in my utmost effort to move toward that standard. I returned to the room. Su Jinghan was facing away from the door. I hugged her from behind, but she twisted her body, dodging me. He actually gave up such a perfect opportunity just now. Do not even think about touching me ever again in this life. Su Jing'an had a temper too. Oh no, my big sister is really mad. Short videos say that when a girlfriend is angry, she is harder to coax than a pig meant for New Year's slaughter. I did not know if that was true, but I really wanted to test it out right now. I gently patted Su Jing'an's shoulder. Unsurprisingly, she directly swatted my hand away. Do not touch my noble self with your dirty hands. I could not help but laugh. Is this what a mature CEO looks like when she acts spoiled? Why did I inexplicably find it a bit cute? I pressed my arm against the bed, slipping it past Su Jinghan's waist. My other arm wrapped around her waist from above. I suddenly pulled her back into my embrace. Baby, do not be mad, okay? Feeling the hot breath by my ear, Su Jinghan finally realized that my weak spot was actually right here. Forgiving him just like that, would not that be letting him off too easy? But he called me baby. I do not care anymore. He just likes me. I forcefully flipped her over. Without another word, my kiss landed on hers. I was no longer afraid of kissing Su Jinghan. After all, we had already done it many times. They say when couples get mad at each other, there is nothing a kiss can't solve. If there is, then just kiss again. Su Jinghan's defenses finally crumbled in this instant. I suddenly sat up and pinned Su Jinghan beneath me. I was passive just now, but this time I had to take the initiative. I have to kiss her until her lips swell. Otherwise, I will be the angry own. Su Jinghan sat up on top of me, licked her red lips, and grabbed my pajama top. Let us see if you dare to make your big sister angry again. I was panting heavily. Su Jinghan's movements were too rough. I even forgot that my nose could breathe. And almost suffocated, I whispered, I was wrong. I will dare to do it again next time. Since the atmosphere had reached this point, I suddenly wanted to act shamelessly. Su Jinghan was a bit surprised. Now that he had gotten familiar with his big sister, her little brother was starting to ask for a beating. No way. She could not let me off the hook. She leaned down, and the two of us shared another deep kiss. As soon as I sat up, Su Jinghan leaned down once more. How about it? Want some more? I held onto her shoulders. I was wrong. Let us continue next time. I even felt like my lips were already starting to swell. Oh, and more time and they would turn into sausages. Su Jinghan was satisfied too. Her little brother was all hers. There would be plenty of opportunities to taste him later. She snuggled into my arms. Getting the password to my room was not at all for this. I felt the warmth in my arms, pondered for a long time, and finally could not help but speak. Sissus, are you asleep? She noticed her little brother's tone was slightly serious, and even a bit stubborn. He was about to talk serious business with her. Could you tell me about your family? I asked carefully. Perhaps 3 or 4 days was very short, but the progress between us was surprisingly fast. So fast that it felt like we had been together for half a year. It inevitably made me start thinking about meeting her parents. For a moment, I suddenly had a selfish thought. If only my big sister was an orphan like me, then I would not have to meet the parents. I quickly tossed this absurd thought to the back of my mind, wishing I could slap myself. Only through experience do you know how terrifying it is to survive alone, and how difficult it is. How could I bear to let my sister suffer like that? I would rather face her parents. Su Jinghan leaned against my chest. You want to meet my parents already? She knew the reason I had always rejected her. Now that I suddenly brought up her parents, was it because her little brother had completely accepted her? She thought about finding an opportunity to confess her identity to me. Curious about what expression I would make when I found out, I gave a soft a bit absent-mindedly. Su Jinghan said gently, do not worry. They are very easy to talk to. Once your big sister arranges everything, I will take you to meet them. She still needed to go home and lay some groundwork. Her little brother's social anxiety was too severe. She was afraid the scene would be too grand, and afraid I would not be able to utter a single word. She had to go home and mentally prepare her parents first. She comforted me, saying, my little brother is so handsome, so upright and kind-hearted. They will definitely like you. Do not worry. Su Jinghan still had not mentioned the 10 million. Her family did not care about that. She had already observed my character these past few days. I would definitely pass her parents' test. Actually, I had already passed her test. So the rest did not matter. This was a rare flutter of the heart in her life. She could ignore anyone else's opinion. Su Jinghan said softly, go to sleep. Right now, she needed to give me some time to think. People who like solitude always tend to overthink and mentally drain themselves. Her comforting words would not be of much use to me. I could only adjust on my own. But if the event has not happened yet, things won't get better. Even after the event has happened, I might still constantly blame myself for not performing well. Su Jinghan did not need to offer too much verbal comfort right now. She just patted me gently, coaxing me to sleep like a child. The strength my big sister gave me was ample. I did not worry for too long. Perhaps this was the benefit of having a girlfriend. If I were sleeping alone normally, I would highly likely suffer from insomnia tonight. When I woke up the next day, it was on minute before my alarm went off. I stared at my phone. The moment the screen lit up, I turned the alarm off before it could ring. I slowly pulled my arm out and planted a gentle kiss. It was actually still early. I had plenty of time to make breakfast myself before waking Su Jinghan. I heard she used to suffer from insomnia often. I will let her sleep a little longer from now on. As I got up, Su Jinghan woke up too, but she did not want to get out of bed. That was a very comfortable sleep. Watching me prepare everything in advance, a smile gradually formed on her face. It is so nice to have a little brother like this. She quietly hugged me from behind. Little brother, have we met somewhere before? After sleeping in my arms for 2 nights, she had grown increasingly reliant on my scent. She suddenly had an illusion, as if she had smelled this scent somewhere not too long ago. I slowly shook my head. I do not think so. I usually walk with my head down, wearing headphones. I have no idea who I pass by on the street. But one thing was for sure. Su Jinghan's beautiful face was one you would never forget after seeing it just once. I had no impression of her, and Su Jinghan had no impression of me. My life consisted of going to school and staying home to write. Going out meant just going to the supermarket for groceries. Her routine was a straight line between home and the company. The two of us had absolutely no intersection. Do you wear cologne? I shook my head. What would a grown man like me wear that stuff for? Someone as frugal as me could not possibly buy such impractical things. It would be better to cook 2 big meals to reward myself. Su Jinghan indeed had not seen me wear cologne these past few days. There was nothing scented in the room besides me. That was strange. I asked in confusion, "What is wrong?" Su Jinghan whispered, "I have smelled your scent before, but I can't remember exactly where I smelled it." I could not exactly say my scent was unique in the world. It was also possible that 2 scents were just similar. I patted Su Jinghan gently. "If you can't remember, just forget it." Su Jinghan tossed a set of keys to me. I held the car keys, looking a bit confused. Evidently, I did not understand what Su Jinghan meant. Su Jinghan was so angry she stomped her foot. Is this guy playing dumb, or is he actually dumb? She pinned me against the wall in the corner. Did not you say yesterday you would drive me to and from work? Backing out already. Were you just sweet-talking your big sister to make her happy? It has only been a few days, and my little brother has already learned how to sweet-talk. If I do not discipline you strictly, who is going to be the boss of this house in the future? I was a little embarrassed. Could I say I only said that in the heat of the moment yesterday? I probably would not get beaten up, right? What does yesterday's plan have to do with today? I do not like going out at all. Su Jinghan pressed her body lower to block me. You seem very reluctant. I blinked, looking very obedient. How could I be? I am willing to do anything for my big sister. Su Jinghan leaned in a bit closer. I could not help but swallow hard. My heart was racing. Every time I was in close contact with Su Jinghan, I found it hard to calm my heart. Staring straight at those red lips right in front of me, I forgot how to speak. I really wanted to kiss her. My head slowly moved closer, landing a quick peck like a dragonfly skimming the water. I stood at attention against the wall, lowering my gaze, not daring to look at Su Jinghan. Su Jinghan licked her red lips. Her little brother was too reserved. She preferred it rougher. She lifted my chin, preparing to unleash a storm of passion. I reached out to stop her. We are going to be late. Let us go quickly. This woman did not care about the consequences. But I did not want to go out with sausage lips. It would be too embarrassing. I ducked under Su Jinghan's arm and fled in panic. It was just that. Su Jinghan was standing too close. As I ducked, my cheek brushed against a spot it should not have. So I ran even faster. Su Jinghan laughed out of exasperation. He only knows how to start a fire, but takes no responsibility for putting it out. I will show you who is boss tonight. When she chased me downstairs, I was already sitting in the car. Su Jinghan was stunned for a moment. She leaned against the car, looking at me in utter bewilderment. You are taking me to work. Yet you are sitting in the passenger seat. You even buckled your seatbelt. You really do not have to go if you do not want to. It was her first time seeing someone offer a ride like this. I asked, puzzled, is there a problem? Su Jingyan opened her mouth wide. You actually think there is no problem? Right, otherwise you would have sat in the driver's seat. Seems like he needs a lot more training. Should not you be the one driving? My eyes widened. I pointed a finger at myself. Me, drive. Nobody told me this when I got in. Excuse me, is it too late to back out now? Su Jingyan knew I had gotten my driver's license. If he was not even willing to do this little thing, did he just want to disappear? I scratched my head in embarrassment. Since getting my license, I have not driven a car once. As a homebody with no relatives or friends, a car was not important to me. It was even a burden, wasting money on regular maintenance and gas. If I really had to go out, I would choose to walk if it was close. As for taking the bus, it was not even in consideration. I get carsick and want to throw up after 5 minutes. And I would still have to give up my seat to others. Su Jinghan was speechless. Her little brother was way too timid. The first time she drove, she did not care about anything. She just hit the road all by herself. And was not she still perfectly alive? Valuing life this much was not good. The more you fear death, the faster it comes. Su Jinghan pulled me out of the passenger seat and chased me over to the driver's seat. Do not be afraid, your big sister is here. I sat down resentfully. I had to admit, the phrase "do not be afraid, your big sister is here" was filled with immense power. I carefully started the car. Let us go. The fear was only there at the beginning. Once the car actually started moving, the feeling from my driving school days returned. I drove smoother and smoother, and gradually picked up speed. Finally, we arrived at Jingxin Group before 9 a.m. Sitting in the car, looking at the towering building, I felt an oppressive sense of vertigo. I could not even count how many floors there were. Su Jinghan was not in a hurry to get out. Want to go inside and take a look? Jingxin Group was a landmark building in Rongjin City. It consisted of 2 interconnected high-rises. It was said that from the CEO's office on the highest floor, you could see the entire downtown Rongjin. My eyes were filled with envy. My tone was regretful. I probably can't go in, right? Jingxin Group was the place top talents from all over the country fought tooth and nail to get into. Many people came just out of admiration. It was said that without an appointment or ID verification, you could not enter. Su Jingyan shrugged. Whether he could enter or not was just a matter of her saying so. She was contemplating whether she should just come clean today. Deceiving him about her identity would make her seem like she had ulterior motives. The longer she hid it, the harder it would be to take off her mask in front of me. Let us give it a try. Su Jingyan gritted her teeth and made a decision. If things really went wrong, she still had a backup plan. Tie him up and take him home. It was also at this moment that I spotted a familiar face. My eyes followed Zhao Feng. Asking me to shout his name from this distance was impossible. In that moment of silence, I wanted to find a hole to crawl into. But Zhao Feng looked over. His mouth instantly dropped open. He had been brooding over what happened last night. He called his sister Zhao Ya to ask. But as Su Jinghan's best friend, she surprisingly did not know either. This instantly ignited Zhao Feng's gossiping spirit. He wanted to confirm immediately. Had I really conquered this 10,000-year-old iceberg? Helplessly, he did not dare to call. He could only camp out in the morning to wait for Su Jinghan's car. And so, from a distance, he saw me sitting in the driver's seat, and Su Jinghan sitting in the passenger seat. This was concrete proof. I waved at him from afar. In such a huge company, to bump into the only person I knew besides Su Jinghan was quite a coincidence. I could not be blamed for this. Zhao Feng had walked over and seen us. Pretending to walk away would hurt my feelings, and it would make it look even more obvious that he was hiding something. Su Jingyan narrowed her eyes slightly. Coincidence? She did not buy it for a second. Little brother, help your big sister unbuckle her seatbelt. Ever since meeting me, the domineering CEO had become less and less domineering. Today, Su Jinghan decided to declare her sovereignty. Do I even need to help with this? I frowned slightly. But rule number one of being an excellent little brother. Listen to your big sister. Forget it, I am going all in. If Zhao Feng sees, then he sees. I unbuckled my own seatbelt, leaned over Su Jinghen, and reached for the buckle on the other side. Zhao Feng was stunned in place. In broad daylight. In public, they should not be acting this bold. The moment the seatbelt clicked open, Su Jinghen grabbed my face with both hands and forced me to turn and look at her. Her little brother was too shy. Given such a good opportunity, he did not know how to take the initiative. Without hesitation, she kissed me. At that moment, Zhao Feng's pupils outside the car were trembling wildly. Did I wake up too fast? Am I hallucinating? The iceberg CEO has actually been taken. So what was that wave just now? Luring me over just to shove PDA in my face, huh? And to think I considered you a bro. I lifted my head. The look I gave Su Jinghen was a bit helpless. What kind of behavior is this in broad daylight? What if the company leaders think this hurts their image and fire her? It is not like I have not seen this kind of situation before. Sitting back in my seat, I urged her, "Can you go to work now? It is almost 9 of the clock. It is past the clock in time. It would be a pity to be late just because we delayed at the company entrance." Su Jinghen did not move. She pointed to the parking lot ahead. "Drive in." I did not understand. "It is just a few steps. Can't you walk in yourself? I would have to drive in circles just to get back out later. Or does she want me to leave the car in the parking lot and take a cab back by myself?" I had only just experienced the joy of driving. I spoke up. "Hurry up and go to work. I will drive back to pick you up after work." Su Jinghan asked, "Do not you want to go inside and take a look?" I gave her a surprised look. "Can I go in?" "You can go in if you want to." At the time, I did not understand. What did she mean if I say you can? You can. Did she make the company rules? Would not this leave something to be used against her by people in the company who disliked her? I did not want to become Su Jinghan's weakness. However, Su Jinghan's attitude was firm. There was absolutely no room for negotiation. I could only bite the bullet and drive in, hoping inwardly that we would not get into an argument later. After parking the car, I buried my head very low, staring at the steering wheel, feeling a bit wronged. I did not dare to look at Su Jinghan. Who knew if she was secretly laughing at me right now? Su Jinghan's eyes crinkled in a smile. She could not resist reaching out and patting her little brother's head. Her little brother, looking flushed and aggrieved, was simply too cute. "It is not your fault. The company drew the parking spots too small. You had to try 3 times to get in. You completely could not find the reference points taught in driving school. Next time, you will be able to park it perfectly on the first try." My voice was as quiet as a mosquito. There were already quite a few cars in the garage. Others could park fine. Why could not I? It was not that I was overly competitive, but the strong always mock the weak, openly or secretly. I really did not like hearing those things. And if I could not be stronger than others, if that situation arose, it meant I would have to leave. I will definitely do better next time. Your big sister believes in you. Su Jinghan pinched my cheek. Her little brother needed encouragement. Her little brother is never wrong. What is wrong are the parking spaces being too small. After getting out, Su Jinghan opened the car door. She hooked her arm through mine and pulled me into the company. She knew a storm was coming. She had to hold on to her little brother tightly. Big companies even have huge front doors. I forced myself to stay calm, suppressing my curiosity to look around. I could not act like someone who had not seen the world and embarrass my big sister. There were already quite a few people at the company's front desk. It was past 9 of the clock. Logically speaking, Su Jinghan was already late. Yet I noticed that not a single person informed Su Jinghan that her pay would be docked for being late. I was a bit confused. Is a big company's tolerance really this high? Would not it be chaos? I sneakily glanced up. I saw everyone around us stop what they were doing. Some people had stopped mid-drink, spilling it on their clothes without even realizing. They were all staring at Su Jinghan in shock. No, I realized most of the gazes were falling on me. Is something wrong with me? Did I wear my clothes inside out? "Good morning, President Su." What did they call her? President Su sounded like a high-level executive. Where is she? I also wanted to see what a successful person looked like, but everyone around us had their heads lowered. They did not look like they were going to acknowledge it. Are they this low-key? Could their names be displayed above their heads? Let me see who has the surname Su. Wait a minute. Surname. Su. My eyes darted. Is not Su Jinghan's surname Su? It could not be. Is her position in the company that high? And I even asked Xiao Feng to help her. Amidst the whispering, I faintly heard, the CEO actually brought a man to the company. I did not dare to imagine it. The arm held by Su Jinghan. I secretly tried to pull away. Sis, let go. I have already seen it. I am leaving. How could Su Jinghan grant my wish? We had already come this far. If she let go, I would definitely run without looking back. She clamped down on my hand. Her aura suddenly skyrocketed. The air around us turned freezing cold. Her icy gaze swept over everyone, whispering. They lowered their heads like kids caught making a mistake. Even I, standing beside her, quieted down. I stared at Su Jinghan blankly. Was this really the same older sister who begged for kisses? She was way too intimidating. The surroundings fell dead silent. I spotted Zhao Feng in the crowd. Zhao Feng, who had been tricked into coming, was waiting in the lobby. He knew Su Jinghan would definitely bring me inside. Given Su Jinghan's personality, she had definitely been anticipating this scene all along. Winning is not fun if you are the only ON who knows. He felt much better. Standing in the crowd, he gave me a thumbs up and gestured for me to hang in there. The elevator doors closed. Instantly, the lobby erupted in chaos. The eternal iceberg has melted. She actually brought a man to the company. And they were walking arm in arm. I must have woken up too fast. I am hallucinating. Inside the elevator, it was just Su Jinghan and me. I was still in a state of utter shock. I was passively dragged out of the elevator by Su Jinghan. We arrived at a massive office. I swear this was the biggest office I had ever seen in my life. It even had a private lounge inside, with a large bed. So she really is the CEO of Jingxin Group. I looked at Su Jinghan's back. I felt more terrified than the very first time I met her. The apprehension of facing a stranger is nowhere near the trembling fear of facing a superior. No matter what job I do, I never like interacting with the boss. It makes me restless and tongue-tied. I always feel like whatever I say is wrong. Standing in this enormous office, I had no idea where I was even supposed to stand. Did not you already hear? Su Jinghan did not believe that I had not heard the whispers downstairs. In fact, Su Jinghan did it on purpose. She could have easily stopped them right away. But she wanted me to find out through others. That way, it would be more credible. Let us reintroduce ourselves, little brother. My name is Su Jinghan, CEO of Jingxin Group, and the sole heir of the Su family, the wealthiest family in the city. She changed again. Su Jinghan transformed back into the big sister at home who begged for kisses, and went shopping with me, as if the icy, intimidating aura downstairs did not belong to her at all. No, I reminded myself internally. I could not let myself be deceived by this woman anymore. This was not her true self. She was a wolf in sheep's clothing, just waiting for a little lamb like me to jump right into her trap. Run. Of the 36 stratagems, fleeing is the best. I turned and reached for the office door. Su Jinghan dashed forward and grabbed me. She whispered in my ear, I forgot to tell you, little brother. Your big sister has trained in martial arts. With your scrawny little arms and legs, you can't escape. The voice of a demon. I am doomed. I am completely doomed.